Chapter 1120. The man and the dog were currently engaged in an earth-shattering battle. They were having a good time, but now Fong Ping and the others were suffering. Earthly Exalted, who was the slowest of them all, was groaning as his bones were broken and his flesh melted away. Even though he had unleashed the power of an emperor, he was unable to withstand the shockwaves. These two fellows didn't have to bear the burden of being the fish in the moat. When other experts fought, the stronger they were, the more they would be able to restrain their strength. However, it was hard to tell whether these two were doing it on purpose or if they had really just awakened their strength, causing them to lose control over a large area. The divine city was about to be destroyed. Even an emperor-level powerhouse had to escape. One could imagine how wide the area affected was. At this moment, the entire immortal city fell into a state of panic and despair. The Heavenly Hound and the Spring Guardian did not care. The two of them were not kind people to begin with, especially the Heavenly Hound. Hong Kuan had dared to study its golden body for 3,000 years and play with it like a toy. Would it care about the life and death of Hong Kuan's people? While the man and the dog were fighting, Fong Ping got to work. Rumble! An explosive sound rang out. Earth Xing almost went crazy. Fong Ping was attacking him. Sizzle! His back was cut by the cracks, and he lost a large piece of flesh. Frightened, the earthen deity frantically ran forward. Bang! Fong Ping attacked again. At this moment, he was much more relaxed than before. The wind and cloud speed was quite fast. Di Xing, do you want to die? Fong Ping grinned. If you don't want to die, hand over your storage ring. Also, give me your fountain of longevity too. Bastard! Earth Xing was enraged. He then roared, Lord Wind Cloud, leave him behind. Taoist Feng Yun didn't say anything. He didn't have time to deal with them. Moreover, Fong Ping was still providing him with energy. He did not want to abandon Fong Ping now. Also, Fong Ping was on good terms with the cat, and the cat was on good terms with the Heavenly Hound. They might still have to rely on Fong Ping to survive. If they lost Fong Ping now, wouldn't they be courting death? Give it to me. I'll count to 3. Otherwise, you can go to hell. Fong Ping attacked again. A palm shot out. After all, he was a top-notch powerhouse with an explosive power close to 900,000 calories. Even if he could not kill Di Xing, who had become stronger now, it would not be a problem for him to attack from the front and block him for a while. Bastard! Once again, Di Xing was suppressed by Fong Ping and stopped for a moment. This time it was going to be tough. Chi! The sound of electric welding rang out, and a small part of his head was directly cut off. Earth Xing was so terrified that his soul almost left his body. At this moment, he had no other words. He tossed out the storage ring instantly, and a plump baby flew toward Fong Ping in an instant. This bastard is too despicable. At this time, he still wanted to rob them. He was simply throwing his life away for money. Fong Ping took the storage ring and kept the chubby baby, his face full of smiles. He had obtained all 4 drops of longevity ancient spring water. Xingdi's great Tao was still in his hands, so he wasn't in a hurry to kill this fellow. At this moment, Fong Ping had his eyes on Ground Wonder, which was slightly further away. Chi did not even look at him, continuing to deviate from Fong Ping's direction. I'll walk further away, okay? Master Feng Yun, move a little to the left. Fong Ping chuckled. Taoist Feng Yun cursed in his heart. Bastard! What do you take me for? This guy was just short of riding on his head. He really wanted to stuff this bastard into the crevice and kill him. My lord, cooperation is the most important thing right now. Don't forget that there's still the heavenly wood forest ahead. Fong Ping was all smiles. Are you afraid? Behind them were the 2 heavenly kings fighting, and in front of them was the heavenly wood forest. They're all my people. Whether they are or not, they're all mine now. Are you afraid? Although I'm not as strong as you, I can scare you to death. Taoist Feng Yun's expression was ugly, but he moved slightly to the side. At this moment, Ground Wonder's expression changed. Bastard! This Feng Yun fellow actually listened to Fong Ping. Ground Wonder's storage ring, I don't want to say it twice. I'm a kind person. I don't like to kill people. Look, isn't Xingdi alive and well? Hand over the treasure, and whether you can escape or not depends on your luck. Ground Wonder gritted his teeth and did not say anything. A storage ring also flew toward Fong Ping quickly. King Kuan's spear. Fong Ping still remembered that a long imperial spear was also a treasure. He could not miss it. Ground Wonder's expression was frighteningly ugly. He gritted his teeth and a long spear flew toward Fong Ping. Fong Ping was also cautious. Only when the long spear was about to pierce through Feng Yun's back did he stretch out his hand to grab it. Once it was in his hand, he immediately felt a sharp aura. It was a good weapon. Not bad. Fong Ping laughed and nodded. Ground Wonder was still considered obedient. Ground Wonder snorted in his heart and did not say anything more. However, at this moment, in front of him, a big seal directly smashed toward him. Bastard! Ground Wonder was furious. Didn't you not attack anymore after you accepted Xing these benefits? Why are you attacking again when it's his turn? I seal! Ground Wonder roared. Above his hands, a strong burst of cold air erupted, instantly freezing the void in front of him. The Saint Token's speed slowed down. After a moment, it broke the ice layer, and Ground Wonder also took advantage of this moment to shift his direction again. However, this also delayed his speed a little. The cracks on the Black Lotus behind him were still spreading. With a squelch, a small half of his body was cut off. Fong Ping. Ground Wonder was furious, flustered, and exasperated. Fong Ping, this bastard, after accepting the benefits, he still attacked him. He was too hateful. On the other side, Ground Wonder was running away with his head down. He felt that there was no need for him to be angry just now. Fong Ping accepted his benefits and did not attack him. This was already considered good. This person was afraid of comparison. Now that there was a comparison, Ground Wonder was so miserable. He was considered lucky. Fong Ping did not care about this. He continued to control the Saint Token and attacked Ground Wonder. Not only that, Ground Wonder had just avoided the Saint Token when he was cut by the cracks again. On the other side, Fong Ping suddenly broke into his origin, slashing down with his saber. The slash caused the chi of origin to overflow from Ground Wonder's body. He was going crazy. Bastard beast! Ground Wonder was furious. This beast was too hateful. He was a dignified near-emperor-level powerhouse, but at this moment, he had no choice but to be attacked by him. He could not even resist. Fong Ping was dragged by Feng Yun. His speed was slightly faster than him. There were still cracks behind him. If he was slightly slower, he would die. Moreover, he did not dare to use too much force. He was afraid that if he hit Feng Yun, Daoist Feng Yun would turn around and kill him instead. In this way, he was tormented by Fong Ping. You beast, you're worse than pigs and dogs. Beast? Worse than pigs and dogs? These words were not said by Fong Ping. In the distance, a golden silhouette, Tengu, who had already entered the depths of the void with the Spring Guardian, suddenly became angry. Someone scolded me. Someone actually scolded me. Too arrogant. Too arrogant. Dogs? That was the supreme one. Anyway, that was what Tengu thought. Someone actually dared to scold him. At this moment, behind Ground Wonder, the spreading speed of the cracks suddenly accelerated. Not only that, but when it was their turn, the lotus that appeared in the cracks was no longer 6 petals, but 5 petals. 5 heavens shattered. That was 2. For million calories of damage. Although there was a risk of dying against an emperor level, it was not impossible to escape. However, at this moment, the lotus that appeared in the cracks changed. 6 petals. Not only 6 petals at this moment, more than a dozen golden hairs like sharp swords shot toward him. Those were Tengu's hairs. Someone dared to scold him. Did he have a death wish? He did not pay much attention to these small fries. He did not have time to care about them when he was fighting the Spring Guardian. But someone actually scolded him. This was unforgivable. No! Ground Wonder sensed danger, his eyes almost popping out of his head in horror. No, I'm not scolding you. I'm scolding Fong Ping. Worse than pigs and dogs. This is really a saying, not you. In front, Fong Ping swallowed hard, slapping Daoist Feng Yun. Run faster. Tengu was furious. Naturally, Daoist Feng Yun also sensed the danger behind him. He was so angry that he wanted to kill someone. Crazy. Why did he have to provoke Tengu at this time? Was he not courting death? No. Ground Wonder roared in horror. He was not even an emperor level. How could he resist an enraged Tengu? The cracks covered him instantly. He had just escaped danger with a burst of speed when more than a dozen hairs, like more than a dozen Tengu, turned into more than a dozen dog mouths in the air, pouncing toward him. Crack! A dog's mouth bit his shoulder. His shoulder disappeared immediately. A dog's mouth bit his right leg. His right leg disappeared instantly too. Ground Wonder went crazy. He was going to die. Fong Ping. He did not dare to hate Tengu. At this moment, he hated Fong Ping to the core, extremely resentful. Fong Ping, you deserve to die. Even if I die, I won't let you go. Fong Ping. Fong Ping shuddered, waving his hand. Don't miss me too much. Also, this has nothing to do with me. You insulted Celestial Emperor for no reason. Aren't you courting death? Celestial Emperor cannot be insulted. He is the first dog. Cats and dogs are humans' best friends. Humans love to make friends with cats and dogs. How dare you insult Celestial Emperor like this? Don't blame me if you die. You. Ground Wonder was furious. However, he could not even speak now. The last strand of hair turned into a dog's mouth, biting his head and bursting it. He was not dead yet. At this time, his mentality appeared. Not only did it appear, but it also split into many shadows, fleeing in different directions. As soon as the mentality left, the broken golden body was swallowed by the cracks, disappearing instantly. Some of the scattered mentality was swallowed by the cracks, but some escaped by luck. Ground Wonder did not have time to rejoice. Suddenly, something appeared around his scattered mentality. One of the clones had just recovered his senses when a golden man appeared in front of him. It was not strong, probably only rank 7 or 8 strength. To him in his heyday, it was trash that could be killed with a slap. But now, this golden body suddenly revealed a disgusting smile on its face. Ground Wonder, we'll meet again if fate wills it, the golden body said. This was what Fong Ping said when he controlled the golden body. It was just a product condensed from imperishable substances. In the next moment, there was a roar from all directions. Many golden bodies had self-destructed. Even if its strength was average, it was still fatal to Ground Wonder, who was left with only a strand of mentality. Not to mention, there were still space cracks spreading behind. At this moment, the range of the cracks was expanding. Some buildings in God City were already like locusts passing through, swept by the cracks, disappearing in the blink of an eye. It did not matter if there was anyone in the buildings. At this moment, it did not matter if you were rank 8 or rank 9, even if you were a true god. If you stayed in the area covered by the cracks, only death awaited. Ground Wonder's cries of indignation, anger, and resentment were heard. Kaboom! Accompanied by an explosion, Ground Wonder disappeared, as if he had never appeared in this world. In front, Fong Ping sighed. Why? Do you still want to live after insulting Celestial Emperor? Daoist Feng Yin heard it clearly, cursing in his heart. Are you sure Ground Wonder died because he insulted Celestial Emperor? Don't you know how he died? You actually said this at this time. How evil was Fong Ping's heart? At this moment, he was extremely vigilant. He had to be careful, lest he was killed by this bastard. This bastard was too evil. When everyone was running for their lives, he did not forget to extort and cheat people. Far away, in the sky above the Earth King Hall, in the void crack, the spring guard suddenly said, "Whose descendant did this person say he is?" The heavenly hound slapped his head and cracked it. The dog's mouth cracked open, laughing savagely. I don't care whose descendant he is. The spring guard was furious. It must be yours. The spring guard scolded. Just like this dog, ruthless and evil. They did not do anything good. I think I heard it. It's something Zier, which Zier? That brat from the Spirit Imperial family? Impossible. The spring guard was furious again. It was impossible. Zier from the Spirit Imperial family was so pure. How could she have such a descendant? Don't think that I can't recognize you just because you're wearing human skin. You're with this dog. He sensed some cat's aura. The cat's smell was stronger. This was definitely the scourge of the heavenly hound. Parasites from the heavenly realm. No, parasites from the three realms. He would never believe that this was the descendant of the pure and kind little girl in his impression. If that was the case, he would beat the heavenly hound and the cat to death. It was definitely these two who had led others astray. It's the heirs. It might even be from the Spirit Imperial family. The heavenly hound's dog mouth was also extremely infuriating. The Spring Guard was furious again. Their auras were getting stronger and stronger. In the entire mini-world, an energy tornado blew. From all directions, all the energy surged toward the man and the dog. At this moment, in the mini-world where Divine Palace was located, countless powerhouses screamed. Powerhouses were the true core of energy. Any powerhouse would have a huge reserve of energy. These two did not care about that at all. They were absorbing energy. At this moment, some rank 9 powerhouses who were close to Divine City were sucked dry almost instantly. In Divine City, some Divine Palace soldiers who could not escape in time were also sucked dry instantly. In front of Fong Ping and the others, they also saw a large number of martial artists fleeing. These people had been fleeing since the True God War broke out. However, their speed was not as fast as Fong Ping and the others. Even now, they had not escaped the danger zone. Fong Ping saw a familiar face. From afar, he greeted with a smile, Chang Shan-chi, long time no see. In front, Chang Shan-chi, who was still fleeing frantically, changed his expression instantly. Fong Ping's voice. Fong Ping was here? This was his nightmare. The reason why he turned to thunder was to avoid Fong Ping. It was to prove his Tao and have a chance to survive against Fong Ping. But now he had not gone to Enlightenment Cliff. Why? Why did so many things happen in these 2 days in the powerful Divine Palace? The incomparably powerful Divine Palace fell apart in a day. At this moment, he seemed to understand something. True God. Yun Sheng. Great War. Fong Ping. You're Yun Sheng. Yo, you're quite smart. Fong Ping laughed and reached out to grab him, shouting, Fong Yun, come closer. Let me smack him to death. Bastard. Venerable Lord Fong Yun cursed in his heart. I'm not a monster that pulls a carriage. Right now, he really wanted to kill Fong Ping. This was too infuriating. Quick, I'll take you to hide in Skywood Forest. Otherwise, you won't have anywhere to run. If you go out now, you probably won't be able to. Right now, as expected, a large number of powerhouses have gathered outside. These 2 powerhouses are making such a big commotion that the small world is about to be destroyed. They must have caused a big commotion. If you go out, you'll also die. I've arranged more than 10 Venerable Lord powerhouses to ambush you outside. Venerable Lord Fong Yun cursed in his heart again. Do you think I'm an idiot? Where are you going to find more than 10 Venerable Lords? But what Fong Ping said was not without reason. Right now, there were definitely many powerhouses gathered outside. The commotion was too big. These guys did not know what had happened. They might even come in to take a look. Of course, he was overthinking. Some old antiques knew who had awakened. At this moment, some of them had already fled. Who would dare to come in and court death? However, the entrance was still far from here. Skywood Forest was closer. With the protection of a saint, it was safer than now. Thinking of this, Taoist Fong Yun suppressed the anger in his heart. Without saying a word, he flew toward Chang Shan-chi. No matter how strong Chang Shan-chi was, he was only a rank 9. How could his speed compare to an emperor powerhouse? Almost in the blink of an eye, he was standing side by side with Fong Ping. The surrounding rank 9 powerhouses scattered in confusion. They had long run away. Fong Ping was almost walking shoulder to shoulder with him. He grinned and said, Come, tell me how to open Chong Rong Sky. I'll let you die a quick death. No, maybe you can still live. You can lead the way and bring me to Chong Rong Sky to play. Chang Shan-chi's expression changed. Was he going to say it? Almost instantly, Chang Shan-chi said quickly, Okay, back in the Emperor's tomb, I was blind and offended you, sir. Cut the crap. Fong Ping did not say a word. With a bang, his palm struck out. In the midst of Chang Shan Chi's blood-curdling screams, his flesh exploded, leaving behind a head. Fong Ping grabbed the head and laughed. Don't take up too much space. It's not easy for venerable Emperor Feng Yun either. Leaving his head is enough. Chang Shan Chi's head was in his grasp. His face showed an expression that was worse than death. Just because it took up too much space, this guy did not say a word and destroyed his golden body. If this was not a devil, then who was? A human king? More like a devil king. However, a bad life was better than a good death. He was a top rank 9. As long as his head was left, he would not die. At this moment, he did not say a word and endured the pain, only hoping to survive. As for revenge, he would think about it after surviving. The aftermath was still spreading. However, it had spread for about 1,000 miles. The crack was no longer in the shape of a 5-petal lotus. At this moment, the crack behind was slowly weakening. For petals, 3 petals, when it reached 3 petals, Taoist Feng Yun shook his power and Fong Ping was shaken down. Fong Ping did not care. He was a venerable emperor, after all. At this moment, both of them looked back. The god city was gone. At least they could not see any traces of its existence. Behind them, it was pitch black. This time, the battle between the two powerhouses turned a 1,000-mile radius into a void. This kind of aftershock was simply horrifying. Almost half of the small world was destroyed. Not only in Fong Ping's direction, other directions were also destroyed beyond recognition. This time, it was hard to estimate how many people had died. God Palace is finished. Taoist Feng Yun's gaze was complicated. 8,000 years of accumulation was gone just like that. Yes, King Kuan was still here. The 3 great protectors were still here. Most of the powerhouses were in the celestial cemetery. The divine sect's main strength was not lost too much. But the foundation was completely destroyed. As he said that, he looked at Fong Ping. He was gritting his teeth in hatred, but he was somewhat speechless. Fong Ping had infiltrated God Palace for 2 days. And in these 2 days, God Palace was almost destroyed. Did the resurrection of the Spring Guardian and Heavenly Hound have anything to do with Fong Ping? He did not know. In fact, it was very important. Without Fong Ping's interference, even if the Spring Guardian was resurrected, it would not be at this time. At that time, if King Kuan was here, he might be discovered by King Kuan the moment he was resurrected. King Kuan could kill him easily. He could not be resurrected. Even if Heavenly Hound still had a breath left, facing King Kuan at his peak, it would not dare to resurrect. Resurrecting would also be courting death. It could be said that if it were not for humans, the 2 main culprits who destroyed God Palace today might not have the chance to appear in this 3 realms again. It's over. Fong Ping also sighed, looking helpless. I haven't gone to Enlightenment Cliff yet. Will Enlightenment Cliff be destroyed? There are still good things in Origin. I didn't even have time. Cough, cough. Will it be destroyed too? Taoist Feng Yun's face was livid. At this time, Di Xing also escaped with difficulty. Glancing at Taoist Feng Yun, then at Fong Ping, Di Xing's face was also extremely gloomy. Dead. All dead. 3 emperors and 9 gods. Now only Feng Yun and him were left dead. When the sect master left, there were 3 emperors and 11 gods. When the powerhouses had just left, this kind of strength was enough to sweep the 3 realms. But now it was over. And all of this was caused by one person, Fong Ping. Di Xing glanced at the 2 of them and wanted to leave. He did not want to stay with this dangerous Fong Ping anymore. If he stayed any longer, he was afraid that he would be the next one. In the end, just as he was about to leave, Fong Ping laughed. Di Xing, why are you leaving? I don't eat people. You saw just now. If you cooperate well, I won't do anything to you. Aren't you still alive? If you leave now, where are you going? In God Palace, these 2 are still here. If you meet them, you will die. Go out. I think an injured true god like you will also die if you go out now. Why don't we go to Skywood Forest to take refuge? Di Xing's eyes flickered. He did not trust Fong Ping. It was too dangerous, but it was also very dangerous to run around now. Where should he go? The 2 powerhouses were still fighting. He did not know when it would end. Could he always avoid them? Skywood Forest. He was worried that going to Skywood Forest would be even more dangerous than now. Fong Ping invited them enthusiastically. Let's go to Skywood Forest together. Skywood is an ancient first tree after all. It won't be a problem to protect us. At this moment, Fong Ping had made up his mind. He would bring them along, kill the Kuan King's clone first. He wanted to take the opportunity to reap benefits and repair his brain core. This time, the appearance of the Heavenly Hound and the Spring Guardian was also his chance. On the second day he arrived, God Palace was considered to have fallen apart. It was really a pity. There were many places that he did not get to. Chapter 11:21. Because the Heavenly Hound and the Spring Guardian had revived, the Divine Court was in complete chaos. 10,000 feet above. At this moment, King Kuan's clone was not thinking about anything else but should he leave? He wanted to leave. He had paid a huge price to condense this clone. If he died here, his main body's strength would be damaged. On the other hand, after merging with the clone, his main body's strength would increase greatly. Now, there were two overbearing masters in the Divine Court, and the Heavenly Hound had a huge grudge with him. The man and the dog were still fighting and did not have time to care about him. However, the Divine Court was only so big. It was inevitable that they would discover his clone. King Kuan wanted to leave. He wanted to leave, but Tian Mu hesitated. Old people became cunning, and so did old trees. He could tell that King Kuan wanted to leave, but should he stop him? If he did, there would be a huge battle. If he did not, with King Kuan's strength close to that of a sage, he still had a chance to leave. But the Heavenly Hound and the Spring Guardian were here. He could not leave. If they knew that he had let King Kuan's clone escape, he could not say anything about the others. But these two, Tian Mu had reason to suspect that they would vent their anger on him. It could imagine the reactions of these two. You actually dared to let Hong Kuan's clone go? Hong Kuan ran away. So you shall suffer our anger. Yes, that was it. Perhaps it was more serious than he imagined. Tian Mu was in a dilemma. Who would not resurrect? These two had resurrected. Sigh. The heavens were blind. Good people did not live long, but evil people lived for 1,000 years. The Spring Guardian was better. Although he was not stingy, he usually did not cause trouble. But the Heavenly Hound, Tian Mu, was in a dilemma. Heavenly Hound, if it knew that he had consciousness and produced the origin fruit, its first reaction would probably be to eat him, right? I have to save myself. Tian Mu felt miserable. I have to save myself? How could he save himself? Of course, he had to take down Kuan's clone. He also needed to find someone who could speak up for him. Who? Naturally, it was the Human King. The Human King did not know the Heavenly Hound, but he knew the cat. It would be good to ask the cat to speak for him. I have 8 lifetimes of bad luck. Tian Mu's face was filled with grief. He wanted to abandon his main body and run away. But if he lost his main body, he would be considered half-crippled. He couldn't bear to do that. Therefore, at this moment, King Kuan's eyes flickered and he wanted to leave. Tian Mu's eyes flickered as he stared at him, preparing to intercept him. You can't leave. If you do, I'll be in trouble. You want to stop me? King Kuan had an unfriendly look in his eyes. I'm not going to refine you, yet you want to stop me? Heavenly would said gloomily, then lead Celestial the Arch and that person away. I won't stop you. Give me some time to move my main body away. King Kuan almost wanted to slap it to death. This king will lure them? Wouldn't that be like throwing a meat bun at a dog? There would really be no return. Make way. No. Tian Mu was unwilling to give way. You can't leave. If you leave, who's going to take the blame? Bastard, you're courting death. King Kuan was furious. He hadn't had a good time these past 2 days. This king will refine you, and my avatar will become a heavenly king. You don't know what's good for you. I'll refine you and then fight those two. Since Tian Mu wouldn't leave, he could only continue fighting. If he killed Tian Mu and refined him, he might be able to become a heavenly king. At that time, those 2 guys who had just awakened might not be able to do anything to him. Tian Mu didn't say anything. You haven't succeeded in 8,000 years. What's the point of saying such harsh words now? Tens of thousands of feet above, The battle was like a raging fire. Of course, their control was extremely strong, and they didn't dare to cause too much of a commotion. If they attracted the attention of those two, they would be in big trouble. Let those two fight first before anything else. Emperor's Spirit Dojo. King Kun left the source world. After a while, Thunder died. After a while, Di Chi died. The experts of the divine sect outside were only Wind and Cloud and a few others. King Kun didn't care about them. He didn't care about their lives. He was considering whether his avatar should go and rescue them. Losing his avatar was equivalent to having a section of his spiritual energy cut off. Moreover, his avatar wasn't just made of spiritual energy. It was also made with a supreme treasure as a carrier. My avatar isn't dead yet. If I go back now, I might be able to take a gamble and kill Tianmu. In the past, he didn't kill Tianmu because Tianmu wanted to fight him to the death. But now, who cared? If he really died, then so be it. If he died, he would uproot that tree. Although it was no longer active and might not be able to fuse with the golden body, it could be used to make a powerful weapon. Li Xuanxie. At this moment, King Kun's eyes were cold as he looked at Heavenly King Subduing. Open the exit. I want to go out. Before Heavenly King Subduing could speak, King Kun shouted again. Those two bastards are causing trouble in the divine court. If you don't open the exit, don't blame me for not letting you go. Heavenly King Subduing looked at him for a while and said slowly, the divine court is just an external object. Why are you in such a hurry to go back? Don't tell me you have a divine artifact hidden there? Then I can't let you go. Otherwise, who would be your match if you got the divine artifact? Bastard. King Kun was furious. This guy still wanted to stir up trouble. Did he really think he was afraid of him? Crack. Like glass shattering, King Kun was thousands of meters away from him, but it was as if he was right in front of him. He directly broke through the boundaries of space. His palm and arm were still connected, but the distance was infinitely shortened. He slapped towards Heavenly King Subduing's head. Heavenly King Subduing did not panic and did not make a move. Almost at the same time his palm appeared, he tore through the void and instantly appeared beside Li Zhu. In the next moment, the palm chased after him. Li Zhu's expression was ugly. He did not fight back. With a crack, he tore through space and escaped. Heavenly King Subduing cursed in a low voice. Coward. Li Zhu's expression did not change, but he cursed in his heart. Are you King crazy? Why should I intervene when the two of you are fighting? Am I a coward if I don't intervene? Then what's the point of attacking? Idiot? Li Zhu could not be bothered. In the next second, Heavenly King Subduing tore through the void again. Just as he was about to appear, Sea Protector Envoy slapped over with an unfriendly expression and said, Get lost. He was still angry and thinking about what had happened just now. He was thinking about how that bastard Song Mao had measured his head. Now, Heavenly King Subduing wanted to cause trouble. Did he really think he was a vegetarian? Irritable. Heavenly King Subduing had no choice but to tear through the void again and appear behind Moon's Spirit and Heaven's Fate. This time, the two of them also had unfriendly gazes. Heavenly King Subduing sighed and said, Are we really going to be defeated by him one by one? The two of you join forces. One is not his match. If the three of us fight one, even if we can't win, we won't lose. Just as Heaven's Fate was about to speak, Heavenly King Subduing quickly sent a voice transmission. Fight. If you don't fight, I'll dig your father's grave later. Father. Heaven's Fate was sad. Father, without you, everyone is bullying me. It's fine if they bully me, but now someone is threatening to dig my grave. Where is the justice? Father, you are an emperor after all, a supreme existence. I have also become a heavenly king. Why do I feel that the Western Emperor's bloodline is so miserable? Pick on the weak. Heavenly King Subduing bullied the weakest two of them. He shamelessly forced the two of them into an alliance. *CK him. At this moment, King Kun's face was also frighteningly livid. He was really angry. Everyone, are you just going to watch him be so impudent? He roped in the cat. Now that Heavenly Hound has recovered, although Heavenly Hound and that guy are not on good terms, they won't fight to the death. This old thing will become a huge problem sooner or later. King Kuin scolded angrily. Are you all blind? Can't you see the situation clearly? Heavenly Hound had recovered, and the cat was obviously on the same side as Heavenly King subduing. The one in the cat palace had not recovered yet. Once he recovered, and another one came. Who could resist? As soon as he said that, King Jin said softly, Heavenly King subduing. Since King Kuin wants to leave, let him leave. It seemed like he was speaking up for King Kuin, but in fact, he was waiting to watch the show. It was a good thing to let King Kuin leave. Not to mention that there was one less competitor here. If they met Heavenly Hound in the outside world and fought again, there would be a good show to watch. However, Heavenly King subduing couldn't be bothered. Let him go? What would happen to the outside world if he left? Heavenly Hound wasn't reliable. That dog was used to doing whatever he wanted. Even if it was the cat, Heavenly Hound couldn't do whatever he wanted. If it was really possible, Heavenly Hound wouldn't have gone to the Heavenly Tomb back then. The Heavenly Hound was also a peerless expert. He had his own principles when doing things. King Kuin had left. If he didn't go out, the human world would be destroyed. But if he were to go out, Zhang Tao and the others would have to go out as well. Otherwise, they would still be killed. All of them had left. It was over. The Heavenly Grave plan had been completely ruined. It had only been a month, although there were people in the outside world who had awakened. That didn't count for much. Those who had just awakened would quickly go back into hiding. They hadn't even recovered to their peak. It was necessary for him to appear now. If Cat Tree didn't appear, Seiju Wei and the others wouldn't appear. If the Guardian of the Spring did not appear, the Heavenly Hound might not appear either. There were definitely more people who were secretly reviving, but not many of them had shown themselves. Therefore, King Kuin could not leave. Heavenly King Jun didn't say anything. The three of them joined forces and attacked King Kuin at the same time. King Kuin was furious. His palm turned into a fist. At this moment, there were only countless fist shadows in the world. The banging sounds did not stop. Almost in the blink of an eye, Heaven's pole spat out a mouthful of blood and flew back several hundred meters. Moon's spirit coughed up blood. She also stepped through the void and took several steps back. The Heavenly King suppressing Heavenly King didn't have it easy either. He smashed into the void and retreated continuously. On the other side, King Kuin's expression was getting uglier and uglier. Was he that strong? In a 1 versus 3 situation with an old ghost, he easily beat the three of them until they vomited blood and flew backward. Did he break 8 or 9? Who would believe him if he pretended to be like this? Regardless of whether they believed him or not, at this moment, the few Heavenly King powerhouses' eyes flickered. He was really strong. A powerhouse who broke 7 was not just for show. Breaking 7 was usually a vitality outburst of 10 million cal. However, 10 million cal to 20 million calories was considered to be in the range of breaking 7. Under normal circumstances, one's limit exceeded 20 million calories to break 8 because it was difficult to achieve 100% control of one's strength. The feeling that King Kuin gave them was not at the level of someone who had just broken 7. This Heavenly King had really improved a lot in the past 8,000 years. The others had more or less improved, but compared to King Kuin, there was a huge gap. 8,000 years. In 8,000 years, some people did not even improve at all. Hong Kuin, I've really underestimated you. Enough. King Kuin growled and said coldly, Li Xuanxie, do you really think that I know nothing about you? 3,000 years ago, you and I fought once. That time, I had just broken 7 and almost lost my golden body to you. 2,500 years ago, we besieged the Demon Emperor dynasty. You and I were watching the battle from the void. Your aura attracted the Demon Emperor. You can't get away with the Demon Emperor's death. 2,000 years ago, the war between the North and the South broke out. I wanted to capture all of them in one fell swoop, but someone secretly broke the 5 elements formation that I had set up, allowing them to escape. 1,000 years ago, unquestionable Jian killed a Beyond Heaven Emperor. I had just left the Divine Court when I was attacked from afar. You say that person wasn't you? I know how strong you are. What are you hiding? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do by trapping us here? To buy time for humans? What a joke. I don't believe that your goal is so simple. King Kuan said coldly. I think you can't wait for the three realms to fall into chaos. If not for you, how could those people have recovered? If not for you, Tengu and the others would not have had the chance to recover. You led me here to give them a chance to recover. Li Xuanxie, Li Zhen, what are you trying to do? Do you want the three realms to fall into chaos and start the trend? I have always suspected that you were involved in the battle in the Heaven Realm back then. Everyone looked at Heavenly King Zhen silently. Heavenly King Zhen said weakly, Does anyone believe that? Hong Kuan, at this time, you are an expert who broke through the 7th level. Why do you have to do this? Don't try that with me. King Kuan was furious. Nothing good had happened to him after he entered Spirit Emperor Dojo. This old thing had provoked him time and time again, bullying him. Yes, bullying him. He couldn't put down his pride. Otherwise, he would have shouted, Father, everyone bullied me when you weren't around, especially this old man. He was really despicable, shameless, despicable, shameless. King Kuan was about to explode from anger. He had a good mentality and was calm. For 8,000 years, he had watched the rise and fall of civilization and the vicissitudes of life. He was very calm. However, his calmness depended on who he was dealing with. He was really angry at this old thing who might be older than him. After living for 10,000 years, he didn't even care about his pride anymore. Heavenly cats and heavenly dogs were beasts. He didn't care about them. As an expert from the ancient times, how could he be so shameless? King Kuan was extremely angry and said coldly, Do you really think everyone is a fool that you can control? For the past 8,000 years, you were involved in every incident that happened. If you want to start a war, then start a war. If you want to stop, then stop. Suppressing the king's house for 1,000 years. Wasn't it because you were afraid that Moon Spirit would come out and mess up the situation? Suppressing unquestionable Jian. Wasn't it to let the situation develop according to your plan? You keep stopping me because everything is going according to your plan, right? What do you want to guide? The human race has become the main character of the current situation because of your guidance. Otherwise, the land would be the main character. 1,000 years ago, the situation should have started, and there shouldn't have been so many people awakening. After waiting for 1,000 years, did you calculate that so many people would awaken now? Among the crowd, some were silent, and some had a change of expression. Some looked at unquestionable Jian. 1,000 years ago, Heavenly King Zhen suppressed unquestionable Jian. Unbelievable. The Demon Emperor didn't say anything, neither did he admit nor deny it. Moon Spirit's expression changed, and she didn't speak either. It was true that Heavenly King Zhen suppressed the king's house for 1,000 years. I think your Heavenly King Zhen suppressed the sky, not the Heavenly King. Li Xuanxie, you are the mastermind of the three realms' chaos. Heavenly King Zhen laughed. You are very imaginative. It's all your fault, but you know how to shift the blame. Expose the truth? I know how to do that too. Heavenly King Zhen grinned. If we really expose the truth, you are the one who will suffer. 8,000 years ago, when the Heaven Realm was destroyed, you didn't leave immediately and didn't die in that battle. Instead, you returned to the Earth Emperor Palace. That time, the Earth Emperor should have returned once. At least he didn't die then. What did he tell you? After that, you established the Celestial Court and worked in the dark. In a short 8,000 years, you went from breaking 6 to 7 and even 8. Do you, Hong Kuan, have this talent? Don't you know how Hong Yu died? I forgot to mention, 8,000 years ago, you and your brother joined forces to establish the Celestial Court. Then, you fell out. Hong Yu's death is strange, but do you dare say you didn't do it? As soon as he said this, Moon Spirit shouted angrily, Nonsense. Hong Yu died in that battle in the Heaven Realm. I'm not talking nonsense. Heavenly King Zhen grinned. When the Heaven Realm was destroyed, Hong Yu wasn't dead yet. Of course, he didn't live for long and died soon after. Also, Tianji and Tianming. I remember that you entered the celestial court as well. Some of the 8 guardians were divine masters. You were one of them, weren't you? Why did you betray the celestial court and join the demon emperor dynasty? Everyone was surprised to hear this. The 2 kings were also from the celestial court. Tianji arched a brow. Tian Ming sighed and snorted. You old ghost, you know quite a lot. But the celestial court is different from the celestial court. We didn't enter the celestial court back then, and we weren't King Kuin's subordinates. The celestial court had 2 masters, and we weren't King Kuin's subordinates. Heavenly King Zhun smiled. So, you're Hong Yu's subordinates, right? The demon emperor who appeared later had something to do with Hong Yu? Was the demon emperor dynasty founded by Hong Yu? But I remember that he died before the demon emperor dynasty. The 2 kings fell silent. The others' eyes flickered. It seemed that there were a lot of inside stories in the past 8,000 years. The most surprising thing was the establishment of the demon emperor god dynasty. Where did the earthly emperor's clone come from? Hong Kuin didn't acknowledge him. He was his father's clone, but he called him the demon emperor. Clearly, he didn't feel close to him. Heavenly King Zhun smiled again. Hong Kuin, I'm not interested in anything else. I just want to ask you, what did the earthly emperor say to you back then? Did it have something to do with the Emperor Dao? Nonsense. King Kuin snorted, but he was shocked. This old ghost didn't leave back then. You know better than I do whether it's nonsense or not. Heavenly King Zhun said with a smile. Then tell me, how did you manage to go from breaking 6 to perhaps breaking 8 in the past 8,000 years when the Great Path was almost sealed? Your spiritual consciousness was cut off. Do you think I can't tell? Your broken spiritual consciousness actually allowed you to break 7, and you're not even a beginner. I didn't overestimate you when I said you broke 8, did I? How can you, Hong Kuin, surpass all of us? You weren't even Tian Kui back then, but now you're the strongest of the 3 realms. Not far away, Saint Tian Kui's eyelids twitched. Why did he drag me in? What did he mean by he wasn't even as good as Tian Kui? Hong Kuin was young back then, and there were many people he wasn't as good as. Why did he drag me in? But he went from breaking 6 to becoming a heavenly king, and now he might have broken 8. Thinking about it, the others were also curious. What did Hong Kuin get from the earthly emperor? What did he know? His strength had improved too quickly. Yes, too quickly. Although 8,000 years seemed to be a long time, no one had given up on cultivation in those 8,000 years. But now, who had broken 8? These 2 exposed each other, and for a moment, it aroused everyone's vigilance. These 2 had almost never slept in the past 8,000 years, and they were always on the move. What were they planning? Compared to them, the others had more or less slept for a period of time. Just as everyone was silent, unquestionable Jian, who had not spoken much, suddenly smiled faintly. Why mention these things again? In this era, there are novice martial artists, ancient martial artists, demon emperors, sects, neo-martial artists, powerhouses from many eras. Now, it's almost time for the final result to appear. Why pursue the past now? I'm actually curious about one thing. Will there be emperors returning next? Everyone was very concerned. Would emperors return? Heavenly King Zhun said lazily. Who knows? In the battle back then, the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors were the main force of the battle. The others were just affected, so the others recovered. Whether the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors can return depends on luck. Then Wang Jinyang and the others. Them? Heavenly King Zhun thought about it and said with a smile, who knows if the 4 emperors really reincarnated, or if a wisp of spiritual consciousness reincarnated. At their level, casually cutting off a bit of spiritual consciousness can also have the ability to revive life. Did the 4 emperors really reincarnate? Not necessarily. As for appearing in the human race, maybe it's also a plan, who knows? Unquestionable Jian looked at him and was speechless for a long time. The 4 emperors might not have reincarnated? When these words came out, it was like a raging storm. Heavenly King Jin was unwilling to say more. He looked at King Kuin and said with a smile, Hong Kuin, do you want to continue? If not, then break the formation. I suspect that there might not be any treasure here. Maybe Spirit Emperor left us some clues. What? Clues about the heavenly realms shattering. Heavenly King Jin said lightly, I actually also want to know why that battle broke out back then. The way that battle broke out was very strange. Ridiculous. You really don't know? You know? Heavenly King Jin said playfully. If you know, then why not tell me? Is it because of the Immortal Source project? King Kuan was speechless. He closed his eyes and fell silent for a while. He suppressed everything and regained his calmness. Okay, then continue to break the formation, Li Xuanxia. If you dare to find trouble again, I will not let you off. Heavenly King Zhen ignored him. You're not happy with finding trouble? I can't be bothered with you. The battle ended with words. Seeing that he left, Heaven's Pole suddenly looked at Moon Spirit and said, I'm not crazy. I think I'm normal. Apart from the two of us, everyone else here is actually crazy. The moment he said that, Moon Spirit seemed to really think about it carefully. After a while, she nodded slightly. Yes, apart from the two of them, everyone else here was really a little crazy. What was true could be false, and what was false could be true. Only they themselves knew who was truly crazy and who was faking it. P.S. Diarrhea to the point of doubting life, legs weak, acting pitiful, asking for monthly votes, asking for subscriptions, asking for recommendations, fighting for midnight. If there's no midnight, everyone go to sleep. Chapter 11:22. Pantheon. The sky was falling and the earth was cracking. The two powerhouses were still fighting. As for Fong Ping, he had no time to care about them now. Continue fighting, the longer the better. Please don't come looking for them now. He wanted to reap the benefits. He wanted to find tonics to repair his brain nucleus. This time, he had gained a lot from the evil sect. The 4 fat babies could help him repair his brain nucleus now, but the speed was too slow. Fong Ping did not want to repair 1 or 2 per day. He wanted to repair them all as soon as possible. Now, the powerhouses were revived. The 3 realms would be in chaos again. The era where he dominated would soon become a thing of the past. This was something Fong Ping could not tolerate. It was not easy for him to become the boss. It would not do if he was defeated in just a few days. Skywood Forest gradually came into view. At this moment, Fong Ping and the rest looked solemn. Daoist Feng Yun looked at the dark sky, feeling a little breathless. He said in a low voice, Fong Ping, since we're working together, tell me, who's fighting above 10,000 feet? If he did not get close, he could not sense it clearly. However, as soon as he got closer, he sensed that there were powerhouses fighting. Very powerful. Maybe 2 saints were fighting in the sky. He wanted to curse. There were 2 heavenly kings fighting before, and now there were 2 saints fighting here. Since when did Pantheon have so many powerhouses? He, the venerable emperor, was about to become a stray dog. He could not say that. Idioms should not be used indiscriminately. At this moment, Daoist Feng Yun reminded himself very seriously in his heart not to talk nonsense. He would die. He would really die. See how Diqi died? If he cursed lower than a pig or a dog, he would die without a whole corpse. If he said a stray dog, with Celestial Emperor's personality, he would chase him to 9th heaven. He was nervous. Di Xing was almost in despair. A true god, a supreme existence. But today was too tragic to look at. He even exchanged for a Dao and became an existence close to an emperor. However, he still felt like he was in danger. Fong Ping was also staring above 10,000 feet. He thought for a while and smiled. Both of you, do you dare to do something big with me? Both of them said nothing. Fong Ping said again, at this point, what are you afraid of? Besides, I'm afraid you don't know what's up there. If Skywood's enemies don't die, you will. Taoist Feng Yun was silent for a moment, then slowly said, I've roughly guessed it. Feng Yun's expression kept changing as he said in a deep voice, is it the sect leader's people? Or the sect leader himself? Impossible? Di Xing exclaimed. Fong Ping was a little surprised. Daoist Feng Yun was indeed a smart person. This fellow had traveled the 3 realms for many years. He was not just for show. It's the Kuan King's clone. Fong Ping did not hide anything. He smiled and said, if he doesn't die, both of you, you've betrayed him, haven't you? Feng Yun coldly said, betray? The divine court only cared about profit. If we help the sect master kill Tian Mu, then it will not be a betrayal, but a meritorious service. Fong Ping, don't use your way of thinking to measure us. What betrayal? If he were to help King Kuan kill Tian Mu now, he would be the greatest contributor, and King Kuan would definitely reward him. As soon as he said that, Di Xing was ready to make a move. He looked at Fong Ping, his eyes flickering. The sect master was actually here. If he had the protection of the sect leader, as he was thinking, Fong Ping suddenly smiled and said, "You're a smart person. Are you sure you want to help King Kuan's clone?" It's true that King Kuan's clone has saint-level combat strength, but Tian Mu also has saint-level combat strength. Also, don't forget those two. The Celestial Emperor has been humiliated by King Kuan like a toy for so many years. Once the battle breaks out and the chi spreads, do you think the Celestial Emperor will continue to fight with the Spring Guardian or come here to kill King Kuan's clone? As for the Spring Guardian, King Kua has occupied its lair for so many years. Even if it doesn't see King Kuan as an enemy, it probably doesn't have a good impression of it, right? As Fong Ping said that, he smiled and said, also, do you really think I came to the cult unprepared? Feng Yun, you know everything that happened in the three realms the best. Don't you know anything about what happened on Earth previously? Don't you have any guesses about who replaced me in the live broadcast that day? That person is still there. He's just outside, ready to receive me. I didn't lie to you because I told him that there are saint-level holy fruits here. He likes to eat these, so he can't wait. When you and King Kuan work together to kill Tian Mu, he will dare to call for the Celestial Emperor and chase you until you die. It's really him? Taoist Feng Yun sighed suddenly. He had guessed it before, but he dared not believe it. The cat left. He went to the sky cemetery. Why did he appear on Earth? At this moment, he thought of many things and said suddenly, the appearance of the sky cemetery is too coincidental. Fong Ping, is the sky cemetery real or fake? Fong Ping smiled without saying a word. Taoist Feng Yun's expression changed again. A scam? The three-realm scam? The sky cemetery was fake. Everything was fake. It was just a self-directed and self-acted show by humans. The cat was guarding the humans while Fong Ping was stirring up trouble outside. The three realms were in turmoil. If it were not for powerhouses like Tengu coming back to life, the humans would probably be the biggest winner. In the three realms, were there any other Emperor-level powerhouses besides him? Not counting those who came back to life, there might not be any. In other words, if there were no powerhouses coming back to life this time, if Fong Ping really escaped and roped in Tian Mu, perhaps the humans would be the top force in the three realms. What a plan! Martial King and the others were really ruthless. The battle that day turned out to be a plan. Everything was under control. The human race is really scary. Taoist Feng Yun suddenly lamented. If there were no ancient powerhouses coming back to life, I'm afraid the human race would become the strongest force in the three realms sooner or later. Worthy of being the main character this time, Heavenly King Garrison, Martial King, and now you, the Human King, 3 generations of inheritance, each generation more terrifying than the last. Even if Fong Ping's ability was not as much as Heavenly King Garrison and Martial King, he still felt that Fong Ping was very scary. This fellow could stir up trouble even without strength. This was the real Grim Reaper. He dared to break into the Catacombs Forbidden Zone as a rank 8. As a rank 9, he led a team to destroy the catacombs and the powerhouses of various sects, participated in the battle of true gods, and obtained rewards. Now that he was a true god at this moment, Taoist Feng Yun was shocked and said suddenly, I just want to ask, are you a true god? Huh? Di Xing was stunned. What did he mean? This fellow had killed a few true gods, no, more than 2 digits, and you're asking if he was a true god? Are you kidding me? However, Taoist Feng Yun did not care about him. His eyes were sharp as he looked at Fong Ping. You're a genius who advanced through double 9. According to some of my information, after your Golden Body 9 refinements, your vitality will change qualitatively. 9 refinement Golden Body has a higher limit and is stronger. At rank 8, you can reach the 200,000 calories vitality limit. At rank 9 transformation, the origin grows. If you really want to become a true god, even if it's just a beginner, your vitality base will at least be 350,000 calories. You've already changed qualitatively once. It's equivalent to 700,000 calories of peak vitality and 1.4 million calories of rank 9 vitality. After the origin grows, you may directly have Emperor-level combat strength, Fong Ping laughed. After the 9 refinements, there will no longer be a qualitative change when you reach the peak. Don't you know this? As soon as he said that, Taoist Feng Yun frowned. He really did not understand this. Not only him, did King Kun understand? Not necessarily. In this 3 realms, there were probably only a few people who really knew. Celestial Emperor Batian should know. He should have advanced to rank 9 Golden Body 9 refinements. Emperor, it was hard to say. It might be, it might not be. Other than these people, the beginner martial artists might also know. However, Taoist Feng Yun really did not know. Fong Ping chuckled. Of course, I've achieved Tao. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to fake the scene of Yunsheng achieving Tao. However, without the qualitative change of peak, it's still alright. Although I don't have Emperor-level combat strength, I'm more or less in the middle of the peak. Taoist Feng Yun looked at him suspiciously. Was it true? Whether Fong Ping was at the peak now was actually very important. He was at the peak. Although he was scary, there were many geniuses like this. From ancient times until now, there were many. Even if the unquestionable sword was only a double 8 advancement, it had also honed to the 9 refinements of Golden Body when it was rank 9. If Fong Ping did not have the qualitative change of vitality at the peak, then the gap would be even. It only made him a notch better than others when he was rank 9. However, the 9 refinements of Golden Body that was as difficult as ascending to heaven, if there was no qualitative change at the peak, then what was the point of only being strong at rank 9? What a pity! What a pity that there was no reference. He could not judge how many meters Fong Ping's origin had gone. If Fong Ping was still not at the peak now, then it was really terrifying. A non-peak combat strength comparable to a peak 4 or 5. When he reached the peak, he had Emperor-level combat strength directly. If so, then this fellow would be terrifying. Counterattack. One had to know that between powerhouses, counterattacking some powerhouses who were not too far apart was still okay, but to be able to counterattack when there was a difference of a level, how scary was that? You really achieved Tao? Fong Ping was speechless, saying helplessly, do I still need to lie to you about this? If I really didn't achieve Tao, I would have this strength now as a rank 9. I would have long hidden and waited to advance to the peak. Why would I take the risk to come here? When I reached the peak, it was difficult to advance, so I came here to look for opportunities. I forgot to mention, I didn't come here with the intention to cause trouble. I just wanted to get some opportunities like Enlightened Cliff, Longevity Spring. Who knew you guys insisted on killing me? If it wasn't for Venerable Emperor Flamingo wanting to kill me yesterday, would I have to be like this? He said he felt wronged. Both of them were a little dazed. You came here to get opportunities? Oh, right. Yesterday, if you didn't mention yesterday, we almost forgot. You just entered Pantheon yesterday. How did you do it? Did you manage to destroy Pantheon in 2 days? Fong Ping did not talk about this. Although the 3 of them were not on the same side, Fong Ping was still as gentle as a friend, saying in a gentle tone, both of you, life and death is decided in a moment. Are you going to cooperate to kill King Kun's avatar? Or help King Kun kill us? You said it yourself. Evil sects prioritize benefits. If that's the case, think about it. How can you maximize the benefits? Taoist Wind Cloud closed his eyes. Soon, he opened them and said, how can we guarantee that we can survive? As soon as he said that, Dexing looked at Fong Ping with a sharp gaze. How to guarantee their survival? This was the most important. If you want to live, it's simple. Fong Ping said lightly. Promises are useless. There's only one thing, benefits. We can only talk about benefits. If you guys don't attack humans, killing you guys isn't really necessary. On the other hand, if we don't kill you guys, you might still be of some use. Feng Yin interrupted. I have my own plans for these in the future. I just want to know, after the death of the sect leader's avatar, you guys have the absolute advantage. How will you let us leave? As he said that, he and Dexing looked at each other. If they could not do it, they had to leave immediately. Maybe they could still escape. Fong Ping also pondered, thinking for a moment, and said, "This is indeed a little worrying. If it were me, I wouldn't be at ease either. It's not important whether I let you guys go or not. After killing King Kuin's avatar, the main thing is whether Heavenly Wood and Celestial Emperor will let you guys go. You can try. Maybe Heavenly Wood is a way to make you guys feel at ease. As for Celestial Emperor," Fong Ping smiled, "I won't help you guys plead, and I won't frame you guys. That's it. This is also the only thing I, Fong Ping, can do. This is also the only promise I, the Human King, can make now." Their eyes flickered uncertainly. Dexing said gloomily, "Maybe there's another way. For example, capturing you." Fong Ping chuckled. "Don't be silly. I'm not the son of Heavenly Wood and Celestial Emperor. What's the use of capturing me? With Celestial Emperor's overbearing personality, how can he be threatened by you? Dexing, these 10,000 years of your life, have you been living in your stomach?" Both of them looked at him. "Say it." Fong Ping cursed in his heart. This dog's stomach did not even dare to say it. This Heavenly Hound guy was a little scary. Fong Ping's promise, we really can't believe it. Thinking of this, Taoist Feng Yun sighed. "How about this? I'll buy my own life. First, after I leave this place alive, I'll find a chance to give it to you. Otherwise, we'll all perish together." Second, a piece of information. It's not about the three realms today, but about some powerhouses from ancient times. Others might know about this, but I've been traveling since ancient times, so others might not know more than I do. Thirdly, I think you'll need some information about the realm beyond heavens. Fourth, some truth about the Demon Emperor dynasty. You'll need it too. Fifth, there's some information about the previous pope of the human race. This old man thinks that you might be interested in this as well. Taoist Feng Yun looked at him and said with a straight face, "This is what I rely on to live. Everything is in my head. If you want to know everything, then let me live." Fong Ping said mildly, "Who can guarantee that you'll tell me after you leave?" Taoist Feng Yun smiled faintly. "These things aren't secrets to some people. If I tell you, I might be able to reduce some troubles such as your hostility toward humans. If I don't, then with your personality, you won't let me go. I'm not stupid. What do you think I'll choose?" "Smart man?" Fong Ping smiled. "You're really smart, Guardian Feng Yun. Very well, I'm indeed interested. If that's the case, Guardian Feng Yun has succeeded." At this moment, Di Xing glanced at Taoist Feng Yun, then at Fong Ping. Seeing that he was silent, Taoist Feng Yun sighed. "Di Xing, I guess. Countless powerhouses from the divine sect have fallen, and the heavenly court is also disbanded. One person alive is one person." Fong Ping smiled and nodded, saying nothing more. He did not care whether Di Xing was alive or dead. Di Xing's Tao was with him. If Di Xing did not die, he might still be useful, but if he died, it would be a loss. The three of them did not speak again. They were already close to Skywood Forest. In the sky, the roars were endless. At this time, a face suddenly appeared on the huge tree trunk. "King of Mans!" Heavenly Wood was very excited. Then he looked at Taoist Feng Yun and Taoist Feng Yun warily, not saying a word. Fong Ping smiled. "Elder Mu, we're here to help you. A just cause enjoys much support, while an unjust one finds little support. King Kuin's perverse actions have angered both men and gods. Killing King Kuin is everyone's responsibility." Heavenly Wood, Taoist Feng Yun, they were speechless. What did King Kuin do to you? Although the evil sect had been trying to develop in the human world all these years, it did not develop, did it? In the Battle of the King's Battleground, King Kuin did bring people to fight, but because of Moon Spirit's interference, no one was hurt. In the end, look at what you've done. You've almost wiped out the Heavenly Court's forces in the outside world. Of course, it was not easy to say this out loud. Fong Ping did not care what they thought. He said quickly, "Elder Mu, how can we help you? King Kuin's clone is very powerful. Even if we attack, we might not be able to do anything to him." "It's fine," Heavenly Wood said quickly. "If you really want to help me, you just need to cut off the spiritual energy supply within 100 miles. King Kuan is just a clone. The spiritual energy comes from heaven and earth. That's simple. Fong Ping winked at him. Not so simple. Let Feng Yun do it. Heavenly Wood could not be bothered with him. It was too dangerous. Once this emperor level joined the battle and turned against him, it would be suicidal. Fong Ping did not care about his life or death. But how could he not care? It was fine to let these people do some auxiliary work. How could Heavenly Wood be at ease if they were to join the battle? After thinking for a while, Heavenly Wood said, also, after cutting off the spiritual energy supply, if you trust me, then use your spiritual consciousness to materialize. I will send your spiritual consciousness incarnations into the celestial chessboard. Part of King Kuan's clones and my spiritual consciousness is integrated into the celestial chessboard. You can kill King Kuan's spiritual consciousness incarnation in the celestial chessboard and weaken his strength. I will kill him outside. Taoist Feng Yun's expression changed slightly. Celestial chessboard? A formation that imprisons both parties' spiritual consciousness? This is a formation that will not rest until one side is completely dead. The chessboard will not disperse. Yes. Heavenly Wood was a little surprised by his knowledge. He said quickly, but if we work together, King Kuan will definitely die this time. Feng Yun said in a low voice. Then how can we guarantee that Heavenly Wood Sage will not write books to us after this? Heavenly Wood laughed. I don't want to meddle. Even if I killed King Kuan's clone, I had no choice. As for Guardian Feng Yun, I dare not kill him to avoid trouble, right? As soon as he said that, Fong Ping looked at Taoist Feng Yun in surprise. Taoist Feng Yun did not say anything, his eyes flickering slightly. After a while, he said, the Celestial Emperor will not have any scruples. Then there is nothing I can do. Heavenly Wood sighed. The only one who can dissuade the Celestial Emperor is the Sky Emperor. If the King of Man helps, nothing will happen to you. Although the Celestial Emperor is domineering, he will not kill for no reason. Fong Ping laughed. I will try my best. Let's cut the nonsense. Everyone, since we have decided, let's take action. I can't wait. I have killed an emperor before, but killing a heavenly king, this is my first time. I'm a little excited. Everyone, please hurry up. They were speechless again. Killing an emperor. Those who did not know would think that he was a heavenly king or a saint. Even a saint would not be able to kill an emperor so easily. This fellow really had no inhibitions and was unscrupulous. When he mentioned killing a heavenly king, he was not afraid at all. Such a person was truly terrifying when he was powerful. The few of them reached an agreement and did not talk nonsense anymore. In the next moment, the three of them soared into the sky. At this moment, there were no more restrictions. The three of them stood in three directions, roaring. Their mentality erupted, energy solidified, and they set up a seal, sealing off the void, not giving King Kuan a chance to absorb the energy around him. At this time, 100,000 feet above, King Kuan also erupted, his figure floating high in the sky. His voice was bone-chilling as he shouted coldly, Feng Yun, Dixing, how stupid are you? If I really die, do you really think you can live? You help me kill Heavenly Wood. I have integrated Heavenly Wood's golden body and achieved Heavenly King. Even if Heavenly Hound and Stonehenge join forces, they may not be able to keep me here. After saying that, he shouted again, I only need Heavenly Wood's golden body. Heavenly Wood also condensed a fruit of origin, a saint-level fruit of origin, the only one in the three realms. Eat the fruit of origin, Feng Yun. You have a chance to become a saint. This is absolutely true. Why don't you lend me a hand and kill Tianmu? On the other side, the old man who had transformed from Heavenly Wood struck with his crutch, dispersing the shadow. He said softly, Your Highness, you think too much. Even if I die, Your Highness will not get what you want. If I destroy everything before I die, everything Your Highness said will be an illusion. Your Highness, do you think anyone will be deceived by you? Fong Ping ignored them. At this moment, he was sealing off the void. He needed King Kuan's spiritual crystal. Of course, Fong Ping also wanted the fruit of origin. When he heard it, he felt that it was incredible. The fruit formed from the origin? The only one in the three realms? Could one become a saint after eating it? This was a treasure. I want it? No, Nan Mao wants it. Fong Ping calculated in his heart. He did not know when Heavenly Hound would finish fighting. If he said that Nan Mao wanted it, would Heavenly Hound snatch it himself or give it to Nan Mao? How complicated. Heavenly Hound was very domineering. According to Nan Mao, he had robbed Nan Mao in the past. If the Heavenly Hound were to snatch it away, where would he go to snatch it? Fong Ping thought to himself, but his movements were not slow at all. At this moment, he let out a series of low growls. His golden body unleashed, mentality gushed out, and quickly began to seal the void, not allowing any energy to flow. Daoist Feng Yun and Dexing Xing were both decisive people. They had already made up their minds. Now that they were stuck in a stalemate, they would most likely die a horrible death. Moreover, what belonged to Heavenly would belong to Heavenly Wood. No matter how good the item was, would it be their turn? The Heavenly Hound was still around. Even if Heavenly Wood were to self-detonate, they would still end up with nothing. If King Kuan could easily snatch Tian Mu's golden body, he wouldn't have been fighting with Tian Mu for the past 8,000 years. In the Heavenly Wood Forest, the battle was in full swing. Above the Earth King Palace, the Heavenly Hound and the Spring Keeper suddenly looked in the direction of the Heavenly Wood Forest. At this moment, the battle was even more intense than before, and both of them could sense it. Hong Kuan's doppelganger? That tree has become a spirit? The Heavenly Dog's eyes lit up and suddenly said, "The one guarding the bathhouse. This tree is a good thing." The Spring Keeper coldly snorted. "Something good? No matter how good it is, I won't get a share since I met you. I don't want it, and I won't give it to you. I'll pester you to death today." Chapter 11:23. Seal. The three of them roared. They had finally set up a seal around Heavenly Wood Forest. At this moment, Heavenly Wood's staff struck King Kuan. He shouted, "Enter the celestial chessboard. Don't resist it." At this moment, Fong Ping felt a pulling force. He guided his mentality into the chessboard between Heavenly Wood and King Kuan. Fong Ping frowned slightly. After some thought, he did not hesitate. He quickly condensed his mentality and followed Heavenly Wood's guidance, entering the chessboard. The moment he entered the chessboard, Fong Ping felt as if he had entered a new world. At this moment, he entered the battlefield in a snow-white outfit. Opposite him was an army of black chess pieces, all with King Kuan's appearance. After a while, Daoist Feng Yun and Dexing appeared beside him. At this moment, Heavenly Wood's voice came from above. "Just kill the black chess pieces." Daoist Feng Yun quickly said to Fong Ping, "This celestial chessboard is produced by two powerhouses integrating a part of their mentality. Their mentality intertwines and weaves into a mentality world. Here, their mentality intertwines with each other. Killing each other's mentality can absorb a part of each other's mentality. It's considered a kind of fusion." Fong Ping was surprised. Fusion? He was surprised. Could it be done? If so, wouldn't his mentality instantly reach its peak after killing some powerhouses? It's not an ordinary intertwining. The celestial chessboard is very complicated and both sides must be willing. Just like how the 6 human leaders integrated, Heavenly Wood must have reached an agreement with the cult leader back then. Daoist Feng Yun was knowledgeable. He quickly guessed some things. Back then, Heavenly Wood was no match for King Kuan. King Kuan was worried that Heavenly Wood would self-destruct, leaving him with nothing. In the end, both sides reached an agreement. The celestial chessboard was built, and King Kuan's avatar guarded it. Both sides fought in the chessboard. In the end, it was possible that Heavenly Wood would kill the avatar, or the avatar would kill Heavenly Wood. However, all these years, Heavenly Wood had always been at a disadvantage. It was not that the avatar was too strong, but that the main body was here so the avatar could be replenished. In this way, if this war continued, Heavenly Wood would eventually die. However, in order to survive, Heavenly Wood could only drink poison to quench his thirst. Fong Ping watched as the black and white armies fought each other. He asked hurriedly, "If we win here, the clones will be destroyed?" "The heaven and earth chessboard is the source." Daoist Wind and Cloud quickly said, That's why if you have the advantage here, the other party will have to constantly replenish their strength. Otherwise, if the source is destroyed, both sides will suffer heavy losses even if they don't die. If we can ask for outside help, then Daoist Feng Yun shook his head and said, it's not that simple. Furthermore, most people who set up such a formation wouldn't do so, even if they could. That's because the heaven and earth chessboard is meant to absorb the source of the opponent's mental energy. What you kill is yours, not heavenly woods. It was a very complicated formation. Fong Ping finally understood why the two sides have been fighting for so many years. If I kill the black ghost stone on the other side, will I receive mental energy feedback? Yes, but very rarely. In fact, it's not very useful, Daoist Feng Yun said casually. Fong Ping did not care about this. Instead, his eyes shone brightly. Will killing these black chess pieces condense a spiritual consciousness crystal? Is your brain damaged? Wind and Cloud seemed to have guessed his hidden danger. It was not hard to guess. He had investigated Fong Ping's past. This guy kept self-destructing. All powerhouses knew that he had hidden dangers. It was a miracle that Fong Ping had not died from having his brain damaged until now. When he had not reached rank 7, Nan Yunyue, Zhang Tao, and the others had warned him. Later, when the old cat met him, it had also warned him. Excessive self-destructions would cause big problems sooner or later. However, the situation was not good at that time. If it were not for Fong Ping's frequent self-destructions, he would not have been able to secure victory in the later stages. Daoist Feng Yun said, when you kill the chess pieces and receive some feedback, you can try not to absorb it. Instead, you can use it to repair your brain. This should be of some use. I don't know how serious your problem is, but I don't think it will be too light. After all, these are just clones of some mentality clones, not the main body. I'm afraid the effect won't be too good. Before he finished speaking, Fong Ping attacked in an instant. He had wanted to laze around before, but not anymore. Kill. Killing those black chess pieces would be nourishment for repairing his brain. This was good stuff. How could he let it go? Although Fong Ping was only condensed mentality, at this moment, a Changdao appeared in his hand. God-slaying saber. This was the wonder of divine weapons. Divine weapons could even enter the origin and sever Daos. Naturally, divine weapons could be used for mentality materialization too. It was difficult for normal weapons to do so. In front of the chessboard, Fong Ping took the lead, slashing with his saber. At this moment, the two armies were fighting. There were many people who had materialized black and white chess pieces, killing each other constantly. Fong Ping attacked suddenly. With this slash, a black chess piece that had transformed into King Kuan was smashed into pieces almost instantly. The black chess piece turned into spots of fluorescent light. Fong Ping felt a force of attraction instantly. The fluorescent light surged toward his body. In the next moment, it merged into his mentality materialization. Repair the brain. Fong Ping felt that his mentality materialization seemed to want to merge with this fluorescent light. How could he be willing to waste it like this? This was his mentality materialization, not a clone. It was still connected to the main body. In the next moment, outside the celestial chessboard, Fong Ping's main body opened his eyes. His eyes lit up. He felt it. A gush of energy merged into his body. Fong Ping quickly transferred the energy into the gate of life. At this moment, in the gate of life, 4 fat babies were spitting saliva at the broken brain. Yes, spitting saliva. Previously, these 4 babies were only emitting some life energy on their own. Now, as if they had eaten too much, they were spitting saliva at Fong Ping's brain. Fong Ping did not care about them. A gush of energy penetrated and quickly merged into the brain. On the crystal-clear brain, cracks were densely covered. However, when this energy merged, mixed with the saliva, almost instantly a crack was repaired. Fong Ping was overjoyed. This energy was also mentality, but the quality was extremely high. This energy was essentially the mentality essence of King Kuan, a top-notch heavenly king powerhouse. At this moment, he was killed by Fong Ping. Even if it was just a wisp of mentality, it could help Fong Ping a lot. However, This kind of energy was the source of mentality. Perhaps no one would be willing to give up their mentality to help Fong Ping repair the brain. Even if old Zhang reached the Heavenly King realm, regardless of whether he was willing or not, Fong Ping would not agree. If this went on, it would damage the essence of mentality. Very good, King Kun. I choose you. Fong Ping knew that it should be related to this celestial chessboard. If not for this chessboard conversion, he might not be able to absorb King Kun's mentality. One of the cracks in the brain was actually repaired. Fong Ping was also beaming with joy. He was going to start a massacre. Those black chess pieces that killed King Kun were also clones of the Avatar. In the celestial chessboard, Fong Ping exploded. Go away, this is mine. Who dares to snatch it? Fong Ping held the god-slaying saber in his hand. He was very arrogant, scolding loudly. Hong Kun, you piece of trash. What kind of divine court is this? It's so weak. I've only been here for 2 days, and it's over. Come and kill me. It had to be said that his ability to attract hatred had always been unparalleled. With just this sentence, outside the celestial chessboard, King Kun's avatar's eyes were a little red. This bastard, this beast, deserved to be killed. He had also thought it through now. Almost everything that happened in the past 2 days was the other party's doing. In the end, it led to the resurrection of Heavenly Hound and the Spring Guardian. It could be said that his 8,000 years of plan had been ruined by this bastard. Fong Ping. King Kun's avatar growled, anger written all over his face. When Fong Ping revealed his true form, he recognized him. Previously, when Tiemu said human king, he thought it was a martial king. In the end, it was not. He thought it was Li Zhen and the rest, but it was also not. Only now did he know that it was actually this bastard Fong Ping. The more he knew, the more he hated. Not only that, Fong Ping actually had the combat strength of a true god. This was also something he could not tolerate. How old was Fong Ping? When he knew about Fong Ping, it was when Fong Ping brought the Heavenly Division to kill the Divine Sect's headquarters in the human world. Only then did he know about this new generation of prodigy in the human world. How long had it been? Actually, it had only been a few days. Now, the other party actually had the combat strength of a true god. This was not the key point. The key point was that the other party had sneaked into Divine Court. In just 2 days, he had ruined his plan. This was the best shortcut for him to become stronger. This bastard really deserved to die. Kill him. There was no need to shout. The black chess pieces in the celestial chessboard could be controlled with a thought. However, at this moment, he still shouted. This was enough to prove how angry King Kun's avatar was. Kill. A large number of black chess pieces surged toward Fong Ping. Fong Ping was not afraid. The avatar's avatar was not considered strong individually. His mentality was also a true god-level mentality, not weaker than the other party. Moreover, Fong Ping could still continuously replenish his mentality. As for King Kun, he was entangled by heavenly wood and could not replenish it in large amounts. Otherwise, his strength would weaken and he would be killed by heavenly wood very soon. Die! I'll kill a few avatars today. After a few days, I'll even kill your real body. You've eaten a bear's heart and leopard's guts. How dare you provoke your grandpa, Fong Ping? Bullsh *T evil sect. Last time when I was a rank 5, they actually dared to attack me. Now when they're a rank 8 again and again, do they really think I'm a pushover? Hong Kun, wait for your death. I'll remember this grudge. King Kun's avatar's expression was ugly. This was the first time he saw someone so arrogant in front of him. As one of the 8 ancient kings, as the son of the earthly emperor, even if there were people who were not weaker than him, they would not dare to scold him like this. He even called himself Grandpa. Even the thorns of the 3 realms, Tsang Mao Tung, did not dare to say this. Who was his father? The earthly emperor. When Fong Ping said this, it was as if he was scolding the emperor as well. Fong Ping did not care about this. At this moment, he was extremely excited, wielding his saber and killing in all directions in the celestial chessboard. Those black chess pieces were not weak, but he had a divine weapon in his hand, and his mentality could be constantly replenished. These chess pieces were no match for him one-on-one. Very soon, a large number of black chess pieces converged toward him. Fong Ping was not stupid. Although he might not be afraid of the other party, the efficiency of killing like this was too slow. In the next moment, Fong Ping's mentality materialized. With a shake of his body, he also turned into a black chess piece, turning into King Kuen's appearance. His aura. He could not imitate King Kuen's aura. It was too strong. However, he had restrained his aura. If he was not paying attention, he would be easily overlooked. The white chess piece that had transformed into heavenly wood was also attacking. With so many auras, a strange aura would be easily discovered. However, Fong Ping did not have an aura. He blended into the black army, and his appearance was the same. If he was not careful, he would be overlooked. In this way, his efficiency of killing the black chess pieces was even higher. At this moment, even Heavenly Wood could not help but shout from the sky, "Be careful! Don't let me kill you by mistake." He was also shocked. This true king's ability was not just an ordinary level. As soon as he finished speaking, Fong Ping roared, "Don't attack blindly. If you hit me, I will counterattack." Heavenly Wood's old face twitched. He suddenly had a feeling that this fellow might let himself be attacked on purpose and then counterattack his mentality sources. King Kuen's could repair the brain nucleus. What about Heavenly Wood's? Fong Ping felt that the effect might be better. Fong Ping did not have the mood to care about that. Right now, he was wandering between the two armies, attacking and killing those black chess pieces continuously. Outside, his main body was also constantly repairing the cracks in the brain nucleus. 1, 2, 3. The speed at which Daoist Feng Yun killed the black chess pieces was not as fast as him. Daoist Feng Yun was also powerful, but he did not have a divine weapon and could not replenish his mentality continuously. In fact, he was not willing to exhaust too much mentality here. Once his mentality was depleted, it was very difficult to recover. Even if he was an emperor level, once his mentality was depleted, his combat strength would be greatly reduced just by relying on his physique. Because of this, Fong Ping was actually the fastest in killing enemies in the celestial chessboard. As he killed and killed, Fong Ping gradually felt that his repair speed had slowed down. Even so, Fong Ping was still killing. After repairing some cracks in the brain nucleus, he dared to let those apparitions continue to open up the path unscrupulously. These 2 days, his speed had actually slowed down. He was worried that if he opened up the path too fast, his brain nucleus would explode. Now that it had been repaired a lot, even if it exploded a little, he could still accept it. Outside the celestial chessboard, King Kuen's clone's expression was getting uglier and uglier. Watching Fong Ping killing the chess pieces unscrupulously, he frowned slightly. Very soon, he stopped frowning and ignored him, continuing to fight with Heavenly Wood. Both of them had saint-level combat strength. Now that they were fighting, it was also a huge commotion. Heavenly Wood kept attacking. As he fought, he suddenly said, "Young friend, don't be greedy. If you integrate too many King Kuen's origin of spiritual consciousness, it's easy for you to get lost and eventually become the next King Kuen." King Kuen snorted softly, not saying anything. Although Fong Ping had killed a large number of chess pieces, if this went on, Fong Ping might become his clone. It was only because that old bastard Tianmu was here. Otherwise, he could have killed Fong Ping without batting an eyelid. In the celestial chessboard, Fong Ping was slightly stunned. There was such a saying? Then he would have to restrain himself? It was a pity. Up until now, the repair speed was getting slower and slower. He had only repaired less than 20 cracks. Previously, at most, there were 360 cracks. Now, there were about 340 cracks left. King Kuen did not care about him anymore, thinking that he would not dare to continue killing. A mere true god martial artist dared to integrate too many of his origin of spiritual consciousness. He was courting death. In the celestial chessboard, Fong Ping cursed in his heart. Then he turned his gaze, looking at the white army. Should he kill some of Heavenly Wood's clones? Not just clones. He also saw the somewhat illusory little tree at the back of the white army, as well as the golden fruit on the little tree. This is the so-called origin fruit, right? Fong Ping did not know what the origin fruit was, nor did he know if the one on the chessboard was real. However, the White Army had been protecting this little tree, and the little tree was also overflowing with energy, constantly giving birth to new white chess pieces. This must be something good. Even if it was not the real origin fruit, Fong Ping felt that it should have some effect. How about, I eat this? Fong Ping wanted to eat it. If he ate it, would his brain core repair? Fong Ping swallowed his saliva. Everyone was still on the same side now. King Kuan was not dead yet. At this time, he could not fight among himself. However, when King Kuan was about to die, what if he ate this fruit in the end? Fong Ping was calculating in his heart. He was calculating whether Heavenly Wood would kill him if he ate it. This old man promised me 3 things previously. One of them was to help me find something to repair my brain core. Fong Ping made up his mind and continued to kill. Although he could not continue to integrate, not integrating it would not stop him from killing those black chess pieces. In the celestial chessboard, the White Army gradually gained the upper hand and began to suppress the Black Army. Outside the chessboard, King Kuan's clone suddenly spoke telepathically. Heavenly Wood, this person has rare treasures. Have you seen them before? Heavenly Wood said nothing. His spiritual consciousness is constantly recovering, coming out of thin air. This should be a spiritual consciousness without a source. How can there be so many spiritual consciousness without a source in the 3 realms? Previously, he could still produce large amounts of imperishable matter out of thin air, but it's also without a source. Also, he has many other special features. King Kuan's eyes flickered, and he spoke telepathically. The 3 realms actually have so much energy without a source. As far as I know, there's only one place. Heavenly Wood was silent. After a while, he spoke telepathically. The immortal source. That's right. King Kuan's eyes exploded with a strange look. I didn't think much about it before, but now that I've seen it with my own eyes, I'm afraid Fong Ping has something to do with the immortal source. He might be able to connect to the 9 heavens. The immortal source was the most powerful artifact created by the 3 realms powerhouses back then. We can't enter the 9 heavens. The immortal source is an unparalleled treasure. It has integrated all the energy of the human realm back then, Tao. It has also integrated a large amount of energy of the land realm, Tao. Some even said that when the immortal source was created back then, it was actually to reopen a realm, the underworld. Heavenly Wood was still silent. Where there's life, there's death. Even the Emperor is no exception. Even if the Emperor can live for 100,000 years, 1,000,000 years, he will die sooner or later. When the human realm's energy and Tao were extracted back then, was it really just to sever the 3 realms path? Was it really just to separate the 3 realms, human and immortal beings? Heavenly Wood was no longer silent. He spoke telepathically. Your Highness, what are you trying to say? The immortal source, the seed of rebirth, the Emperor's Tao, the door blocking the way, all of these might actually be related. It's just that we don't know. Everything is outside the 9 heavens. King Kuan's clone's eyes flickered. If we capture Fong Ping, maybe we can use him to enter the 9 heavens and even control the immortal source. Heavenly Wood, you must know that compared to the immortal source, you and I are actually nothing. Fong Ping might be the key to this big change. King Kuan glanced at Fong Ping in the heaven and earth chessboard from the corner of his eyes. Then he looked at Fong Ping's body in the distance. The immortal source. When the immortal source was created back then, it wasn't just the 9 emperors who participated. There were many people who participated, even the strongest among the beginner martial artists. Maybe it even involved the reincarnation of life and death. Even if it didn't, the immortal source has gathered half of the 3 realms' energy. If it doesn't have a source, King Kuan looked at Heavenly Wood, his eyes burning. If you and I enter the 9 heavens and cultivate for a few years, we might be able to become emperors. Heavenly Wood paused and spoke telepathically. The celestial emperor is still here. So what? King Kuan's tone was disdainful. Can it break the 9 heavens? If it can't, Then you and I enter the 9 heavens through Fong Ping. What can the heavenly hound do? Enter the 9 heavens through Fong Ping. Heavenly Wood glanced at him and suddenly laughed. Your Highness, you are just a clone. Moreover, everything is just speculation. Speculation might not be baseless. Otherwise, where did Fong Ping get this power from? Maybe he is the Heaven Reverse Emperor. Tian Mu suddenly said, Emperor of Heaven Reverse in the true sense. He sealed all his reincarnations. With the power of the Heaven Reverse Emperor, everything is possible. He is the complete reincarnation of the Heaven Reverse Emperor. Then there is no doubt. Impossible, King Kun denied. He was about to say something when his expression suddenly changed. He humphed. There are some things that you might not know. He can't be the Heaven Reverse. Why not? Heavenly Wood looked at Fong Ping from the corner of his eye and murmured softly, Maybe the Heaven Reverse Emperor is back. That was the person who saved its life. Back then, the Heaven Reverse Emperor gave him a strand of energy, which saved his life and also accelerated the emergence of his consciousness. The Heaven Reverse Emperor's contribution was indispensable for him to become a monster. Heavenly Wood murmured again, The Heaven Reverse Emperor is not dead. I have always thought that he is not dead. He is still alive. Sooner or later, the Heaven Reverse Emperor will return to the 3 realms in an invincible manner. As soon as he finished speaking, he suddenly struck his crutch at King Kun. Even if the Heaven Reverse Emperor is dead, don't expect me to do anything. Even if he is not the Heaven Reverse Emperor, he is related to the other 3 Extreme Path Heavenly Emperors. Do you think I will do anything to him? Ridiculous. King Kun humphed. You just don't dare. You are afraid that the Heaven Reverse Emperor will come back to settle the score with you. But if you and I become emperors, do we still need to be afraid of the Heaven Reverse Emperor? The 4 emperors are only Extreme Path. They are not emperors, let alone Extreme Path emperors. Heavenly Wood ignored him. King Kun wanted him to waver. However, cooperating with King Kun would be courting death. He saw it. No, he sensed it. Fong Ping was related to the Heaven Reverse Emperor. The Heaven Reverse Emperor was not dead. He was still alive. He must be alive. Among the 4 Extreme Path Emperors, the Heaven Reverse Emperor's presence was not the strongest. His combat strength could not be determined. He was not like the Heaven Tyrant Emperor, who fought frequently. He was not like the Heaven Battling Emperor, who was once a student of the 3 emperors. His rise was witnessed by many. He was not like the Heaven-Destroying Emperor, who once fought in the Chua mainland. Among the 4 emperors, the Heaven Reverse Emperor was the only one who rarely fought. There was almost no record of him fighting. He was also the oldest among the 4. However, Heavenly Wood dared not underestimate the Heaven Reverse Emperor. It was just a tree. Even the emperors dared not belittle the Heaven Reverse Emperor. What was more, the strand of energy 8,000 years ago was the key to his ascension. Heavenly Wood would not dare to do anything to Fong Ping. Chapter 1124. Fong Ping did not care about their guesses about whose reincarnation he was. He was Fong Ping. He was not anyone's reincarnation. Yes and no. Lao Wang had said many times that a battle was a battle, and he was himself. He was not a person, and there was no need to treat him as a person. Until now, Fong Ping still held on to this thought. No matter who he was in the past, he was himself now. Right now, Fong Ping was having a great time killing his enemies. While killing the Black King Kun, he roared, Another Hong Kun killed. Pooh! Another Hong Kun was killed. Crack! Another Hong Kun, he roared as he slashed. On the other side, King Kun really wanted to smack him to death. His doppelganger was entangled. Otherwise, he could have killed him with a single palm strike. The main body did not return, but when it did, it killed him with a single blow. Where did this guy get his face from? When did you kill this king? Fong Ping roared as he slashed. As he roared, he shouted, Hong Kun, let me ask you something. Can this small world of yours be shifted away? His heart was tired. King Kun's clone felt that he would rather die than live. If you want to kill me, then kill me. If you don't want to kill me, then go to the side. What nonsense are you asking? Hongkuin, you're about to die. Can't you talk for a while? Are you looking down on me? I've been practicing martial arts for 3 years and have reached the pinnacle of Tao. Don't tell me I'm not even qualified to have a few words with someone like you who's going to die. As soon as he said that, the Kuan King's clone's expression changed slightly. He thought for a while and said slowly, "Do you want to talk?" This king wants to know, "What do you want to talk about?" Fong Ping laughed heartily. "I'm most curious about one thing. What exactly is the seed of rebirth? Is it the key to opening the Emperor's great path?" "The seed of rebirth," King Kuan said playfully. "You really want to know?" "Of course." King Kuan smiled faintly and said, "If you know, I'm afraid you'll despair. Tell me about it. I have a big heart, and it's hard for me to despair." King Kuan's smile became even more playful. "Seed of rebirth. Seed of rebirth. Just from a name, you should know that this is actually a seed." Fong Ping was speechless. "Nonsense. But seeds? Was it really a seed? You're too young. You don't understand. This king doesn't mind telling you some secrets." King Kuan smiled playfully as he repelled the heavenly wood with one strike. He said slowly, "The seed of rebirth did not appear after the destruction of the heavenly court. Actually, the legend of the seed of rebirth has been around since ancient times. In the early stages of martial arts, some people temper their bodies, some temper their spirits, some focus on one skill, some focus on omnipotence. At that time, there was no great Tao, until one day, a novice expert unintentionally discovered the secret of quintessence. From then on, the quintessence Grand Tao gradually replaced the imperfect Grand Tao of the novice era, and it became the orthodox Grand Tao of the three dimensions. King Kuan sighed with emotion. It was a turbulent era. At that time, 100 flowers bloomed, and 100 schools of thought contended. Some people didn't approve of it. Some people felt that origin was an external path. What was the point of cultivating one's origin instead of oneself? At that time, there would be frequent battles, infighting among beginner martial artists, and the struggle for the great path. This was the true struggle for the great path, the struggle between the North and the South, the struggle between the physical body and the spiritual sense. They are nothing compared to the beginning of martial arts. King Kuan smiled once more and said, "It's also precisely because of that era that a batch of source powerhouses was born. My father and a few other emperors were mostly born in that era. At that time, for the sake of source, they fought novice experts, fought those powerhouses who opened up the martial path. They fought those powerhouses who opened up the path. In the end, they proved their Tao in battle and became emperors in battle. This is what it means to be an emperor." During that period, too many powerhouses rose up. There were Tao of origin powerhouses, novice martial powerhouses, and some neutral factions such as the extreme Tao Heavenly Emperor. They felt that the path of novice martial arts was not without redeeming qualities. Hence, they fused origin and novice martial arts. On one hand, they walked the path of novice martial arts, and on the other hand, they walked the path of origin. Hence, there were powerful extreme Tao Heavenly Emperors. Fong Ping listened for a while and said with a smile, "I'm asking the seed of rebirth. Why are you telling me this?" "Don't be anxious," King Kuan said lightly. "The seed of rebirth has a lot to do with these." It was also during that period that the beginner martial artists were defeated and retreated to the beginner mainland. Beginner mainland? Actually, it's the human world, today's Earth. King Kuan said lightly, "There are many gathering places for beginner martial artists. Back then, traces of beginner martial artists were all over the three realms, but their source was on Earth. In other words, the source of martial arts is actually on Earth. This includes the Tao of origin, which is also a type of beginner martial artists. Most of them were born on Earth. After the defeat, the beginner martial artists retreated to Earth. They were unwilling to be defeated by the outer path, unwilling to accept that their path was wrong, and unwilling to admit that the Tao of origin was the orthodox path. Hence, back then, a group of beginner martial artists began to study the Tao of origin. But very soon, these people realized that they could not walk the Tao of origin. They were the first batch of powerhouses who opened up the martial path. They had already opened up their own path. Don't think that not walking the origin means you have no path. The Tao of the flesh and the Tao of spiritual consciousness are actually a type of path. King Kuan said as he fought with heavenly wood. These people had actually already walked their own path. They had no fate with the origin. What should we do? Someone suddenly thought of something and proposed the seed of rebirth. Fong Ping was surprised. Didn't the concept of the seed of rebirth only appear after the fall of the Earth Emperor God dynasty? Was it really that ancient? He was still thinking about it when King Kuan said, "What was the original intention of the seed of rebirth? It was to let these people have the Tao of origin. If they wanted to defeat their opponents, of course, they had to understand their opponents and know the Tao of origin. They wanted to prove that the Tao of origin was wrong. Hence, back then, a group of powerhouses joined forces, went into seclusion, and studied. In the end, these geniuses created the seed of rebirth. The seed of rebirth can let them walk the origin." "I don't know." King Kuan laughed heartily and said loudly, "Because the plan failed. I don't know exactly how it failed. All I know is that the plan still failed. The beginner martial artists were still beginner martial artists, and they did not become beginner martial artists with the Tao of origin. After that, the seed of rebirth appeared, which was actually after the heavenly realm was shattered. Some people said that back then, after the Immortal Origin project started, they saw a seed fall into the human world and shatter. Was it done by the Emperor? Was it done by the extreme Tao Heavenly Emperor? Or by beginner martial artists? No one knows." King Kuan's voice was very loud, and he said clearly, "But since then, there has been a legend that the weak will not know. Legend has it that when the Tao of origin gathers, the seed will bloom and bear fruit. If you consume the seed, you will have the Tao of origin. One day, you will become an emperor, the emperor of Tao, the strongest emperor. Because this is the seed that beginner martial artists prepare for themselves, the seed that activates the Tao. When the seed blooms and bears fruit, it will bloom into the flower of Tao and bear the fruit of Tao. Then you will be able to control the Tao of origin. When the Demon Emperor dynasty was destroyed, this legend also spread. Hence, everyone knew that in this era, if you want to become an emperor, you can only obtain the seed of rebirth." Fong Ping frowned. This guy was fooling him, right? Was it so complicated and mysterious? One could become the strongest emperor by consuming a fruit? Fong Ping, how many fruits can a seed bear? There is actually only one fruit of Tao. The strongest emperor, the strongest. Naturally, it is unique. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows and said, "What do you mean?" "So, I have never roped in some powerhouses. With my identity, is it really impossible for me to make friends with some heavenly kings?" "Wrong. But I didn't do it, because we all know that this opportunity only comes to one person. Only one time." King Kuan said playfully, "Do you want to be the strongest? Do you want to be immortal? If you want to, then sooner or later, you will fight the heavenly king garrison or even the martial king. Therefore, in this world, there is only one person. There is no such thing as unity. There is one more thing I want to remind you. This seed of rebirth needs you humans to nurture it. Nurture this seed. Everyone must nurture it. Let it bloom. Let it bear fruit. Finally, use yourselves as a sacrifice to water the seed of rebirth and let it bloom and bear fruit." Fong Ping killed another Black King Kuan with one slash. He instantly stepped on the corpse that dissipated instantly and said, "Are you saying that if you want to become the strongest emperor, you have to kill all your opponents, including the heavenly king garrison and the martial king, right?" "That's right. Humans are actually sacrifices?" "That's right. Then don't fight for this strongest emperor. That's impossible." King Kuan said lightly, "If you don't fight, you will die. This is because the Tao of you humans is a part of the seed of rebirth. If you don't die, the Tao will not return. How can you bloom the myriad Tao flower, bear the myriad Tao fruit? Therefore, the fate of you humans has long been determined. Either one of you becomes the strongest emperor, or all of you die." The others will swallow the myriad Tao fruit and become the strongest emperor. When Fong Ping heard this, he nodded and said, I see. Elder Mu, is this legend true or false? Heavenly Wood was silent for a moment and said slowly, there was, but it was only spread for a period of time in the past. It was soon confirmed that there was no such thing as the seed of rebirth. That's because you don't have the right to know. King Kuan sneered. His hand was like an eagle's claw, tearing through the void and grabbing Heavenly Wood's head. Heavenly Wood disappeared instantly and appeared somewhere else. It was just an illusion just now. Fong Ping said again. So in the end, humans will also have to kill each other? Then won't we become the strongest emperor? I said it's not up to you. You don't want it, but the others do. Who doesn't want it to be eternal and the only one in the 3 realms? I want it, everyone wants it, including the 9 emperors and 4 emperors, including Heavenly King Zhen. Do you really think that Heavenly King Zhen will be willing to protect humans for 8,000 years without asking for anything? King Kuan sneered and said, he's just waiting for the right time, waiting for the seed to mature, waiting for it to bloom and bear fruit. Heavenly King Zhen won. At least the human world is under his control now. The moment the seed awakens, you will all be his sacrifices. He is the most promising person to become the strongest emperor. Fong Ping nodded with an expression that said, I see. Then he killed another black chess piece. At this time, he continued, do you have evidence? Your claim of sowing discord doesn't seem to hold water. Give me some concrete evidence. Maybe I'll take the bait and find a chance to kill Heavenly King Zhen in the future. King Kuan was a little tired. This guy, when he talked about killing Heavenly King Zhen, it was like he was joking. Did he really think so? Or was he just saying it? After thinking for a while, King Kuan smiled faintly and said, evidence? Of course there is. Didn't you notice that the helpers that Heavenly King Zhen has roped in all these years are actually vindicated outside the human world? There are almost no powerhouses who have truly proven their Tao in the human world. Because he is worried that when the day comes, these helpers will also become enemies with him. It's been 8,000 years. With his strength, would he not be able to nurture some true gods? Even saints can do it. But now, Fong Ping nodded and agreed. That's true. I was wondering why there weren't many powerhouses on Earth for so many years. Oh, right. Didn't you say that many people actually came from Earth in the past? They're all powerhouses. Startown has a few peerless powerhouses. The sects that went from Earth back then, not true. King Kuan said faintly. The place where these people prove their Tao is actually not Earth. Then according to what you said, King Wu and the others are actually not. You're wrong again. King Kuan smiled faintly. They proved their Tao in the land realm, but they have always lived on Earth. At that time, the barrier between the 2 worlds was already connected. They were born on Earth and grew up on Earth. At the last moment, they just went to the land realm to prove their Tao. The Tao they proved is actually Earth's Tao. It's very complicated. Fong Ping sighed. He broke the neck of a black King Kuan and casually chopped off his head. King Kuan's eyelids twitched. Can't you stop for a moment when I'm talking to you? Other than that, there are some things that you don't know. King Kuan said sympathetically. Do you really think that the outbreak of neo-martial arts was an accident? Is it because you were threatened? Is it because you were more talented? Or is it because you were more daring to fight? Neither. Actually, as early as 1,000 years ago, there was also an outbreak in the human world. At that time, both the human world and the land realm were erupting. That time, Heavenly King Zhen actually wanted to try activating the seed of rebirth. That's why the demon emperor entered the land realm back then. In the end, it failed. Heavenly King Zhen might have sensed that something was wrong. After that, there was your neo-martial arts era. Oh, Fong Ping said with a serious expression. In that case, Heavenly King Zhen is the biggest boss of the 3 realms? A bad guy? Even worse than you? King Kuan's avatar did not want to answer. He vented all his anger on Heavenly Wood, causing Heavenly Wood to fly backward continuously. I believe 1% of what you said. Fong Ping laughed. The seed of rebirth might really have something to do with beginner martial artists, or it might really have something to do with humans. As for the flower of all Daos, the fruit of all Daos, I don't really believe it. Han Kuan, look at you. You're a big shot after all. Aren't you embarrassed to lie to a child like me? If you're capable, then go and kill Heavenly King Jin. If you're not capable, then don't lie. Do you think I can kill him? Obviously, I can't. King Kuan's face darkened. Why did you ask if you didn't believe me? I might have mixed in some of my own guesses, but what I said is 90% true. If you don't believe me, Heavenly Wood is here. Heavenly Wood should also know some ancient secrets. Heavenly Wood broke his right hand with his crutch. Only then did he say, there are too many ancient secrets. It's hard to distinguish the truth from the lies. Just listen. Heavenly King Jun, you're talking about Li Xuanxi, right? Heavenly Wood said, then added, Human King, don't trust King Kuan so easily, lest you cause a disaster. As soon as he said that, Fong Ping raised his eyebrows slightly. Was this big blockhead reminding him that Heavenly King Jun was very powerful? That was true. He must be very powerful. He could break 7 in ancient times. What about now? Fong Ping did not think about it anymore. He did not believe most of what King Kuan said. He was actually curious about one thing now. What had Heavenly King Jun been doing for the past 8,000 years? After so many years, he did not seem to have cultivated many powerhouses. As for the evil sects, even if King Kuan did not care much about them, there were still many powerhouses that were born more than 2,000 years ago. Of course, many of them died. In the war between the North and the South and the Earth Emperor God dynasty, the evil sects were not completely without losses. In addition, many of them were killed by Heavenly King Jin, which made it seem like the number of powerhouses did not increase. Isn't the seed of rebirth the key? Fong Ping murmured in his heart. He was almost confused by these people. Each of them had their own version. He did not know who was telling the truth. At this moment, King Kuan said again, Fong Ping, although you and I are enemies, I still have to remind you, don't get too close to Heavenly Cat and Heavenly Dog. This cat and dog's origins are beyond your imagination. They may not be good creatures. Back then, before the heavenly realm was shattered, my father had a chat with the Emperor. When he talked about this cat and dog, his words were rather fearful. The Azure Cat is the source of all Tao. This saying has been acknowledged by the Emperor. This cat and dog may come from the source world. It's extremely complicated. You must not believe it easily. In the end, it will lead to the complete destruction of the 3 realms. Fong Ping laughed. You're telling me this? I'm just an absolute peak. What's the use of telling me this? Why don't you go and kill the Celestial Emperor? Fong Ping said helplessly, Han Kuan, I've overestimated you. Your goading and sowing discord are really low end. If you think I'm goading and sowing discord, then so be it. King Kuan did not argue further. Sooner or later, you'll see everything clearly. Some things in ancient times are more complicated than you think. You've always been hostile to us, and so is the martial king. Perhaps in the end, you'll realize that you and I are on the same side. King Kuan chuckled. When that day comes, I hope you can still be as relaxed as you are now. Fong Ping said with a headache. You don't say. It's really possible. But it doesn't matter. When that day comes, we'll just beat them all to death. All of them do nothing good, but do bad things. In my opinion, those who are more than 1,000 years old should all be beaten to death. Not many of them should be innocent. If they're really innocent, we'll just beat them to death. Am I right? King Kuan, Heavenly Wood, Feng Yun, everyone was speechless. This guy was really crazy. Among those present, he was the weakest. In the end, this guy said that he would beat them all to death when the time came. This would really solve the problem once and for all. If he killed all those who were more than 1,000 years old, in the end, wouldn't the neo-martial arts powerhouses be left? There were a few catacombs that were below 1,000 years old, but could Fong Ping let them go? I'm just joking. Don't take it seriously. Fong Ping laughed. I'm the absolute peak. Everyone, please don't take it seriously. If word gets out, people will think that I, Fong Ping, like to boast. As he said that, Fong Ping suddenly erupted and killed another black chess piece. Then, he panted and said, Elder Mu, you haven't killed him yet? I can't wait anymore. If you kill this guy, the quality of the spiritual crystal will definitely be good. Kill the clone first, then kill the main body next time. The quality should be even better. Soon, just as Heavenlywood responded, at this moment, an unforeseen event happened. I'm not going to play with you guys anymore. After saying so much to Fong Ping, King Kuin's provocation was real, but in reality, it was still to escape. At this moment, the sky broke. King Kuin was like a sharp sword. At this moment, an incomparably powerful aura erupted, shooting straight into the sky. For the first time, Fong Ping felt what it meant to really break the sky. The sky, at this moment, seemed to be torn apart by something. Another layer of the sky was revealed. Fong Ping was stunned for a moment, then his expression changed. The sky had really broken. The sky of the small world had broken. He could vaguely hear the sound of the sea. The sea was roaring. The forbidden sea? At this moment, outside the broken sky, there seemed to be someone exclaiming, "What's that? Run quickly. It's a saint's aura." "No, that's King Kuin's aura." Someone yelled in horror. King Kuin had actually prepared a way to escape. Unknowingly, this guy had actually broken the small world. He was going to escape. That was true. This was his territory after all. It had been 8,000 years. How could he not have any backup plans? At this moment, even Heavenlywood was a little surprised. When did King Kuin open up a passageway in this place? Could it be that he had opened it a long time ago? Running? At this moment, between heaven and earth, an incomparably domineering roar resounded. "Hong Kuin, how dare you run?" At this moment, the entire world went dark. He could not see anything. No, he saw it. He saw a dog's paw. At this moment, the dog's paw seemed to cover the entire world, slapping toward him. This was not enough. When the dog's paw slapped toward him, Fong Ping looked up. In the next moment, he saw an even more horrifying scene. At this moment, he saw a dog's head. It was incomparably huge. The dog's head was too big. This dog's head opened its mouth wide, as if it was going to swallow the entire small world. Right on top of the paw, when the dog's paw slapped down, Heavenly Hound was actually going to swallow the entire small world. Celestial Emperor. At this moment, there was panic in the outside world again. In the next moment, there was no sound. Everyone had run away. Who would still sit there and watch the show, waiting to die? King Kuin appeared. Celestial Emperor appeared. It was too horrifying. At this moment, some of the people who had yet to run away were extremely fast, tearing through the void to escape. At this moment, they could only feel the aura. Actually, these two had not broken through the small world and appeared in the Forbidden Sea. But in the sky above the Forbidden Sea, they could already see an incomparably huge golden demon beast. Heavenly Hound. The projection of its power covered the entire area. Forbidden Sea. The Jiao's eyes widened. Was this its ancestor? Chef said that this time, he went to the evil sect to find its ancestor. This was its ancestor? This was too powerful. It was actually going to swallow the sky. This is my ancestor. This head, this nose, these eyes, this mouth. The Jiao murmured in its heart. This was its ancestor. It was too similar, except that it did not have those spots. No, it did not have any. Without another word, the Jiao hid the leopard patterns on its golden armor. No horns? The Jiao thought for a moment, then retracted its horns into its head. There's fur? Golden fur appeared on the Jiao's golden armor again, like steel wires. It's the same. The Jiao's eyes blurred with tears. It's the same. My ancestor. Incomparably powerful. We're carved from the same mold. Patriarch. As the others fled, the Jiao suddenly shot into the sky. Riches come from danger. It recognized its ancestor. I'm rich. Huh? The Jiao laughed maniacally in its heart. I've really struck it rich this time. What's a martial king? What's a cat? What's a chef? Is he stronger than my ancestor? Swallow the sky. At this moment, The incomparably huge shadow in the sky opened its mouth to swallow the sky. Patriarch, I'm the heavenly Jiao. I'm your descendant. The Jiao roared and flew madly towards the shadow. Patriarch, I'm coming. Let me become a peerless peak in one day, an emperor in one day, a saint in one day. From now on, who in the three realms would dare to provoke me? I'm the strongest demon beast in the three realms. It knew the heavenly hound, the strongest after the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors. Patriarch, the Jiao's golden body flickered. At this moment, it looked exactly like the projection. The heavenly hound's projection seemed to sense something. The heavenly hound's body was still in the small world, and the small world had not been completely penetrated. Even so, the heavenly hound seemed to see the Jiao across the world. Its huge dog eyes looked over and saw the Jiao. As it looked, the projection suddenly opened its mouth and spat out a mouthful of air. Some of the experts in the outside world looked back as the golden Jiao shot through the air like a cannonball, piercing through the air and then vanishing without a trace. I don't have such a weak bloodline. How dare you impersonate me? The words rang in the spring watcher's ears, but no one else heard it. The heavenly hound sensed a familiar aura. It was probably its descendant, but it would not admit it. It could not afford to lose face. Who knew how many generations of descendants there were? My descendant might not be stronger than King Kuan, but he could not be such a useless fellow. Scram as far as you can. Who knows you? The spring watcher ignored it, but he did not say anything. So weak. If you don't want to admit it, so be it. Chapter 1125. Patriarch. Jiao's shrill cries could be heard. The Jiao did not understand. Why did its ancestor want to blow it away? Acknowledging him as a relative. You don't have any relatives in the three realms. It's good enough that I'm here to serve you tea, but you're going to blow me away just like that? Naturally, the heavenly hound was not interested in these matters. At this moment, the shadow of the heavenly hound blotted out the sky. A claw slapped down. Heavenly hound, do you really think I'm afraid of you? King Kuan bellowed angrily. You haven't fully recovered, even though you're thousands of miles away. What can you do to me with a strike from a distance? At this moment, the Kuan King's clone also erupted. It was no longer a clone. At this moment, there was only an extremely sharp long sword in the world. The Kuan King's clone was attached to a long sword. His clone's longevity was closely related to this sword. Good stuff. At this moment, the heavenly hound's huge eyes revealed a strange look. As it slapped down with its paw, it said in surprise, Hong Kuan, not bad. You actually found the celestial arch sword that I lost. Scram! King Kuan's incomparably furious roar erupted from the long sword. Heavenly arch sword? Celestial Emperor my ass! This was the semi-divine weapon that he had spent countless years and countless resources to forge, the King Kuan's sword. Why did the dog lose the celestial arch sword? No, this dog doesn't use a sword. Shameless bastard. This is my celestial the arch sword. How dare you snatch my sword? You're courting death. The heavenly hound was incomparably savage as it slapped the long sword with its paw. Crack! The void shattered, but it didn't shatter a few layers of the heavens. Instead, it seemed to have crystallized, and the entire sky was shattered into a glass-like state. The light on King Kuan's longsword dimmed a lot. As for the heavenly hound, its claws also became a little more illusory. But the heavenly hound didn't care. At this moment, it was incomparably furious. You stole this king's sword, and while this king was sleeping, you trapped this king for 3,000 years. I will definitely take revenge for this. Hong Kuan, go to hell. Bullshit. King Kuan cursed. Who stole your sword? Who trapped you for 3,000 years? If I hadn't gotten someone to bring back your corpse, would you have been able to revive? Now that he had fallen out with them, he didn't recognize them anymore. As expected of a dog. Rumble. As soon as he finished cursing, a dog's mouth bit down. Creak. The ear-piercing sound made Fong Ping and the other's mentality tremble. It was beyond shocking. At this moment, The heavenly hound bit down on the sword and refused to let go even if it was beaten to death. "Return my celestial the arch sword." The heavenly hound's voice reverberated in all directions. Hong Kun actually dared to snatch its weapon. Not only that, its main body was also rushing over. As it tore through the air, it roared at the spring guard who was chasing after it. "Guard the bathhouse, stop chasing. My celestial the arch sword has been snatched away. After I kill that tree, I'll make a bathtub for you, and we'll split it 50-50. All right." Fortunately, Skywood's words didn't reach him. Otherwise, Skywood would probably want to kill himself. There were a lot of shameless people these days. The most shameless people in the three realms over the past 10,000 years were almost all gathered together. In the air, the sword and the dog were entangled. At this moment, Tian Mu did not intervene. Just as Fong Ping and the others were looking at the sky, Heavenly would suddenly enter the chessboard in a flash. Tian Mu entered the chessboard. There were not many black chess pieces left on the chessboard. In the blink of an eye, they were smashed by Tian Mu's crutch. On the other side, the long sword trembled slightly, but it did not pay much attention. Back then, he was the one who set up the celestial chessboard. It would not be so easy to put his life on the line. Tian Mu also did not care about him. Now that he was entangled by the heavenly hound, it would be strange if he could run away. The heavenly hound was known to be difficult to deal with. Even the celestial emperor of Batian had been taken advantage of by this dog, causing him to miss the great battle back then. The dog's temper was really not good. After smashing the black chess pieces, the chessboard was showing signs of collapsing. Tian Mu heaved a sigh of relief. The celestial chessboard that had threatened him for 8,000 years was finally going to break. Just as he heaved a sigh of relief, his expression changed. On the other side, Fong Ping had somehow found his way to the small tree. At this moment, he seemed to want to reach out and grab the golden fruit. "King of Man!" Tian Mu's voice became much sharper. "What are you doing? You still have the mood to do this at this time?" Who exactly was this person that he knew? Was this guy the reincarnation of Heaven Reverse Emperor? Whoever believed that would be an idiot. When powerhouses reincarnated, they would more or less have some traces of their past lives. If Heaven Reverse Emperor was like this, his notoriety would have spread far and wide. Fong Ping heard the sound. It was biting down on the golden fruit. "Eat first, talk later." Time had stopped. At this moment, time in the sky and on the ground had stopped. The heavenly hound was biting down on the long sword, making a crunching sound. Suddenly, its huge eyes looked at Fong Ping. The long sword seemed to be looking at someone too, at Fong Ping. Tian Mu was also looking at Fong Ping. At the same time, he was also paying attention to the heavenly hound. This action, this posture, this was the descendant of the heavenly hound, right? 10,000 miles away. The Spring Watcher seemed to be watching the battle too. Suddenly, he snorted and laughed. "Your descendant is here. This one is not weak." The heavenly hound harumphed, its dog eyes bursting with brilliance. "That is not my descendant, but it has a future. You should eat when you should." I didn't expect that they would actually condense the origin fruit. It's the origin fruit, isn't it? It's good stuff too. Do you still need those now? I'm injured. Of course I need them. The Spring Watcher sneered. It was yours when you saw it. All the good stuff in the world belonged to you. The 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors were gone. There was nothing that did not belong to you. Shameless. As for what he said just now about splitting the tree, he ignored it directly. What was wrong with chopping down a tree to forge a handy weapon? Click. Fong Ping seemed to have bitten the golden fruit. In the end, it disappeared instantly. At this moment, not far away, Heavenly Hound heaved a sigh of relief. The sapling instantly merged into the walking stick. Although the golden fruit and sapling here were not real, they were also integrated into it. However, it had also integrated a lot of its essence, energy, and spirit into it. If Fong Ping really ate it, its vitality would be greatly damaged. Fong Ping's gaze was unfriendly. Where was my fruit? Elder Mo. Fong Ping raised his head and gestured. This is what Song Mao wanted me to bring back for him as a snack. Song Mao has been hungry for thousands of years. He's so skinny that he's like a bag of bones. After Celestial Emperor left, he hasn't had a full meal for a day. In the sky, the big dog's head was almost filled with question marks. Song Mao was so skinny that he was just a bag of bones? Then what was the situation with the fat cat he saw in the source world previously? Could it be that his eyes were playing tricks on him? Why did he feel even fatter than 3,000 years ago? He could still fly in the past. When he saw him previously, he felt that he was flying slower and much more bloated. Was this brat below joking with him? He was only biting the sword now. Otherwise, Heavenly Hound could kill him in one bite. Hongquin, give me the sword. Elder Mu, give me the golden fruit. Fong Ping had just said that when he lifted his head and took a look. His face was full of embarrassment. What was going on? In the past, I said I was Celestial Emperor. Ever since I found out that Celestial Emperor was a dog, I never mentioned this again. You've already recovered. There shouldn't be any relationship between the two of us, right? Why are you copying me? Heavenly Hound was dazed. He had a slight headache. You want to rob me? Heavenly Hound was in the sky. At this moment, Heavenly Hound was also inexplicably sad. What should he do now? He had been seen. Fong Ping was still fine. His strength was only SOSO. But Heavenly Hound had seen it. What should he do? The origin fruit was a really good thing. All these years, 90% of the energy he had absorbed had been channeled into the origin fruit. He had condensed this origin fruit to fight against King Kuan. The celestial chessboard battle had lasted for 8,000 years. He had been undefeated all this time because of the origin fruit. How could he be willing to give it away? After he had broken free, he would return the origin fruit to its origin. His strength would increase once again. Young friend, this, Fong Ping said telepathically. Elder Mu, give it to me quickly. I'll help you eat it. If you don't give it to me, Celestial Emperor might tear you apart later. He'll dig you out and eat you. If I eat it, although you'll suffer a loss, I'll treat it as you've fulfilled a condition. If Celestial Emperor eats it, he'll steal it and eat you too. Then there'll be nothing left. Heavenly Mu's old face twitched. What did that mean? He would eat him too. It was not that exaggerated, was it? This old man's golden body was very powerful. Heavenly Hound could not bite through the first ancient tree. However, he had given birth to a consciousness. Even if he could not eat his body, he could still eat his mentality. Heavenly Hound was different from King Kuan. King Kuan did not kill it because he wanted to merge with it. Heavenly Hound would not care about this. It would directly drag him out of the tree and eat him. The possibility was not small. Elder Mu, are you still waiting? It's coming. The main body is coming. If it bites King Kuan's clone to death, you'll be next. Heavenly Mu was inexplicably sad and indignant. What was wrong with this old man? Why should I be eaten by you? This old man was the first ancient tree. All right, his strength was not as good as a dog. Even the first tree was useless. Young friend, Celestial Emperor is not so overbearing. This origin fruit is not very useful to you. I said that I'll bring it back for the cat. Heavenly Mu almost slapped him to death. You just said that you would eat it yourself. Now you're saying that you'll bring it back for the cat to eat. Do you think I'm an idiot? A man and a tree were conversing. In the sky, King Kuan erupted. With a slash, the long sword cut off one of the dog's teeth. After all, it was only a projection and not the real body. A semi-divine weapon, under the eruption of King Kuan's near-saint level strength, still cut off the dog's teeth. Courting death. Heavenly Dog was furious. Hong Kuan actually dared to cut off his projection. Did he not want to live anymore? You bastard. Back then, I was talking and laughing with your father. You bastard, you didn't even have the right to serve me tea. Today, you actually dare to cut me. You have no respect or inferiority. You deserve to die. The long sword broke free from the dog's mouth. King Kuan's illusion appeared, holding the long sword in his hand. He was furious. Are you worthy to be mentioned in the same breath as my father? This dog was shameless. How dare you, a shameless dog, stand side by side with the Emperor, courting death? As Heavenly Dog's main body approached, its projection became stronger and stronger. With a swipe of its paw, the void exploded. It opened its mouth and bit. The long sword wanted to run, but was bitten again. Slash! Sparks flew everywhere. It was not an ordinary fire. When these sparks burst out, the surrounding void was burned. On Fong Ping's side, the celestial chessboard was about to break. A few sparks landed, burning the chessboard directly. Fong Ping disappeared from the spot instantly. He returned to his main body, his face full of shock. This dog was not an ordinary kind of powerful. It was a demigod weapon. Sparks flew everywhere from its bite. What was going on? This was just a projection. If the real body came, would it not be able to bite demigod weapons to pieces? At this moment, Taoist Feng Yun, true Lord Earthly Xing, Elder Tianmu, these few ran to Fong Ping's side one after another. This side felt a little safe. Any other place would be too dangerous. Fong Ping and the cat were on good terms. Would Heavenly Dog have some scruples? The Saint Powerhouse, Tianmu, was also helpless at this moment. It was here. The real body was coming. He could not leave. Otherwise, he would have run long ago. Heavenly Dog was here. The Fountain Guardian was here too. This time, King Kuin's avatar was dead for sure. As for himself, it would depend on his luck. The long sword condensed King Kuin's avatar again. King Kuin's face was livid. He also knew that he was doomed this time. But he was not willing to be bitten to death just like that. Heavenly Dog was too hateful. It actually wanted to bite him to death. If this got out, the entire 3 realms would laugh at him. Heavenly Dog, don't be so arrogant. This king's real body is not here this time. Otherwise, how could I let you be so presumptuous? Real body? Heavenly Dog bit down again. It was still as domineering as before. It said savagely, if the real body dares to come, I will bite you to death. This king has just bitten off one of your real body's arms. You're just a mere avatar. How dare you be so arrogant in front of this king? As he said that, he suddenly scolded. How dare you threaten this king? Bastard, you're asking for death. Crack. With this bite, even Fong Ping shuddered. The void was directly shattered by the bite. On the long sword, King Kuin's illusion appeared. A large piece was bitten off. On the other side, Fong Ping had already sensed 2 extremely powerful auras approaching. They were tearing through the void and rushing over. In the blink of an eye, a huge hole was torn in the void. The golden-bodied Heavenly Dog walked over in the air with a majestic gait. At the back, the Fountain Guardian glanced at Tianmu. Without saying a word, he stretched out his hand and grabbed the long sword. Bastard, you also want to snatch this king's celestial emperor's sword? That's my heaven-splitting sword. The Fountain Guardian was also enraged. He was inexplicably enraged, so enraged that it seemed real. He roared, "This is the heaven-splitting sword that I left in the Skyfall Hall back then. It was picked up by that brat Hong Kong. How dare you snatch it from me? You're asking for death." These 2 were going to fight as they pleased. Fong Ping's face turned green. If the 2 of them started fighting, they would definitely die. Even the saints could not protect them. The long sword that was surrounded by the 2 of them had transformed into King Kuin again. King Kuin's face was full of grief and indignation. Celestial Emperor sword, heaven-splitting sword. Anyway, it was not the King Kuin sword. These 2 shameless bastards. This king used everything to forge this back then. How did it become yours? Damn it, this king's real body is still here. Even if you snatch this sword away, as long as this king is not dead, it will not be your turn to control it. As soon as he finished speaking, the Heavenly Dog slapped him with its claw. The illusion dissipated and turned into a long sword again. The Heavenly Dog said disdainfully, "What real body? After taking back the Celestial Emperor's sword, this king will eat it. Then everything will be gone. So what if King Kuin is alive? If I eat it, you can take it back. Go ahead and take it." On the opposite side, the spring guard stretched out his hand to grab it again. He said calmly, "What's there to eat? If you kill Hong Kuin, won't it be an ownerless item?" Having said that, he said angrily, "That piece of wood belongs to you. This sword belongs to me." Wishful thinking. The Heavenly Dog was furious too. The wood has to be forged by itself. How can it be better than the finished product? Heavenly wood, Fong Ping could feel Heavenly Wood trembling. These two were dividing the spoils right in front of them. As for Heavenly Wood's saint-level strength, it was extremely powerful. But so what? The Heavenly Dog and the Spring Guard had not fully recovered. However, their combat strength was still rising. Soon, they would reach the stage of peak Breakthrough 6. They might even reach Breakthrough 7 soon. If they reach Breakthrough 7, then their strength would not be comparable to the average Breakthrough 7 powerhouses. Defeating Heavenly Wood was a piece of cake. Heavenly Wood looked at Fong Ping pleadingly. Help! Fong Ping was also worried. Don't look at me. It's useless even if you look at me. I'm a little scared too. If these two don't agree and kill me, where can I go to seek justice? However, at this time, seeing that the Kuan King's avatar was about to be killed, Fong Ping was also anxious. The Kuan King's avatar was attached to the longsword. He was afraid that the Heavenly Dog and the others would not care about the spiritual crystal and would casually destroy it. At this moment, Fong Ping suppressed his fear and said hurriedly, Seniors, if I kill the Kuan King, can I leave the spiritual crystal behind? I have some use for it here. The man and the dog looked at Fong Ping at the same time. The Kuan King was also extremely sad and indignant. Once again, he materialized. This bastard actually wanted to kill him and leave the spiritual crystal behind in front of him. How hateful! Being stared at by these people, Fong Ping could only feel his skin bursting. It was too glaring. These fellows had no intention of restraining themselves at all. This was the first time the Heavenly Dog spoke to Fong Ping. It was extremely overbearing. Who do you think you are? You think I'll give it to you just because you say so? The Spring Guard was not that arrogant, but his tone was not good either. He said coldly, Whose descendant did you say you were? I'm Zebur. Fong Ping's teeth were chattering. He felt that the Spring Guard was waiting for him to say it. After he said it, he would kill him. Fong Ping was not reliable. Fong Ping changed his words immediately, sweating profusely. Fong Ping said that I might be related to the Spirit Emperor. Whether I'm the descendant of Senior Z or not, Fong Ping said that it doesn't remember. The man and the dog looked at him again. Fong Ping said hurriedly, It's true. If you don't believe me, you can ask Fong Ping. Fong Ping is in the human world. In the human world? The Heavenly Dog snorted coldly, so loud that Fong Ping's ears were about to split open. You're not a good thing when you're mixed up with that cat. These words were actually said by the Heavenly Dog. Fong Ping was stunned. Fong Ping was really stunned. He felt that there was nothing wrong with the Spring Guard saying this, but this was the Heavenly Dog. Fong Ping was the good brother of Fong Ping. It actually said this? It was too shocking. The Heavenly Dog's eyes were like the sun, extremely overbearing. It raised its head and said disdainfully, What are you looking at? Is there anything good when you're mixed up with Fong Ping? As soon as this was said, the Spring Guard also sneered. That's right. Fong Ping, this damn thing. How dare it fool me? I'll teach it a lesson sooner or later. How dare you bully my brother? The Heavenly Dog was still scolding just now, but it suddenly exploded and clawed at him. This man and dog, they fought at will. Heavenly Wood hurriedly released a barrier, blocking the explosion of energy. It was a saint after all. With the help of the venerable Emperor Feng Yun, although the barrier was constantly fluctuating, it could still withstand it. The two of them started fighting. The long sword shattered the void and was about to escape. In the end, the man and the dog attacked at the same time, shattering the void. The long sword wailed and was struck down in the blink of an eye, trembling. Why are you running? The Heavenly Dog was unhappy. It clawed at the void with its claws. At this time, the Kuan King's figure was directly pulled out from the longsword. The Kuan King's clone's face was pale. He was a little angry and a little helpless. How could he be a match for the two of them together? You're so ugly. It's an eyesore. The Heavenly Dog snorted and crushed the clone with a smack. The Spring Guard said disdainfully, Are you human? You're a dog. It's an eyesore to your dog eyes. Bastard, are you scolding me? So what if I scolded you? What can you do? These two experts would fight as they pleased and stop as they pleased. Fong Ping, on the other hand, was staring at the crystal in the heavenly dog's paw. The Kuan King had really been crushed. He really condensed a spiritual crystal. He really wanted to snatch it. The heavenly dog and the spring guard fought for a while and stopped again. The heavenly dog strode and arrived beside Fong Ping in an instant. This time, Fong Ping only felt that he was suffocating. This guy's golden body was too powerful. He did not know how to restrain himself. The heavenly dog must not go to the human world. At this moment, Fong Ping suddenly had a clear understanding. If this guy went, tens of millions of humans would die in a day. Because this guy did not even bother to restrain his aura, Magic City would be destroyed in an instant. The heavenly dog's huge eyes looked down at Fong Ping. "You want this?" Raising the spiritual crystal in his paw, the heavenly dog asked. Fong Ping said hurriedly, "I need repair the brain nucleus." The heavenly dog glanced at him and said sternly, "You actually didn't die. You're quite capable. Your brain nucleus has been crushed to this extent. Interesting. 9 forged golden body, 9th forged spiritual consciousness. What Tao are you cultivating? What kind of rubbish is this? It looks a little like that cat. No, it looks a little like a beast emperor." The heavenly dog glanced for a while and saw through many things in an instant. Fong Ping was also shocked. This dog had extraordinary eyesight. On the other side, the spring guard also crossed his arms and looked over. He glanced at Fong Ping and suddenly looked at Daoist Fengyun. He frowned slightly, but did not say anything. Then, he looked at Fong Ping again and sneered. "I smell a dog scent. Heavenly dog, it really has something to do with you." "Humph!" The heavenly dog snorted. It smelled it too. Wasn't it the little thing that he had just blown away outside? This person in front of him was really popular. He had contact with all sorts of people. The evil cat that oozed pus and the powerful Li Jun seemed to have something to do with the 4 emperors. There were even some hidden auras that could not be distinguished. The Tao that he cultivated was also very complicated. Did the ash cat get involved with this kid because of this? The heavenly dog looked at Fong Ping and said coldly, "You can't take this away for free. No one can take things from me for free." "The cat often takes things for free," the spring guard added lightly. What was he pretending to be? The heavenly dog could not be bothered with him. "Did you not hear what I said? No one? Was that cat a human? You. What are you going to use to exchange?" "What exchange? If there's something good, just snatch it away." "Do you still need to exchange?" The spring guard added again. Fong Ping's teeth hurt listening to this. How should he respond to this? "If there's something good, you'll snatch it. Even if I have it, I won't dare to take it out. But if I don't exchange..." This dog looks so fierce. It seems like it really doesn't intend to give it to me for free. It's not cute at all. Fong Ping cursed in his heart. How good was the cat? There was no harm in this without comparison. The heavenly dog was not friendly at all. It was a waste of him trying to build a relationship with it. The celestial emperor is incomparably powerful. My strength is weak. How can there be anything good to exchange? There is. The heavenly dog said lightly, "If you want to take it away, sure. Within a year, bring back the corpse of a heavenly king powerhouse for me. It's fine if it's alive, but it has to be edible. I won't slaughter it. If you can do it, then take it away. If you can't do it, then take it away too. A year later, I'll eat you." Fong Ping took away the spiritual crystal instantly without thinking. What happened a year later? We'll talk about it a year later. This dog has an average IQ. A year later, if I really can't do it, won't I trick people into attacking you? Do you have time to find trouble with me? Besides, are you sure you can eat me a year later? I don't believe it anyway. Chapter 11:26. After receiving the Kunwang's avatar's spiritual consciousness crystal, Fong Ping could no longer care about the Heavenly Hound's threat. Right now, Fong Ping was a little excited. He didn't know how much this spiritual knowledge crystal could help him recover, or if it could help him recover completely. However, for a Heavenly King stage powerhouse, even if it was just a clone, the quality of his spiritual crystal was already extremely high. There's finally hope. Fong Ping was excited. He had been depressed for the past few days. Because of the problem with his brain nucleus, he did not dare to improve himself, for fear that his brain nucleus would burst. And now, there was hope. He was still excited. Heavenly Hound looked at the spring guard and suddenly said, "Caretaker of the bathhouse, are you interested in taking a look?" The watcher crossed his arms and said impatiently, "Where are you going?" "Sky Grave." The Heavenly Hound's gaze was cold as it looked into the distance. Back then, this king died there once. If not for that, this king might have already broken through to the 9th realm. Now, what's wrong with going there again? Sky Tomb? The person who guarded the spring died early, so he really didn't know about the Heavenly Tomb. At this moment, Heavenly Hound's mental strength fluctuated. The spring guardian seemed to have understood and quickly said solemnly, "You still want to go?" "Of course." The Heavenly Hound was incomparably majestic. "No one dares to kill me. Not even the heavens. This king must go if he doesn't die. But you and I aren't in peak condition yet." The guardian of the spring did not seem to have any intention of refusing, but even the Heavenly Hound at its peak had died there. Now that they had just recovered, they did not have the combat strength they had back then. "It's fine. Let's call a few more people to recover some of our combat strength before we go." Having said that, Heavenly Hound looked at Fong Ping and said coldly, "Go back and tell the old cat that if it has nothing to do, find a place to sleep. Eat and drink when it needs to. Don't wander around aimlessly. The old steward is about to recover. This king will go find him and bring him to the Heavenly Tomb. Keep a low profile these days. Many of our enemies have recovered." Fong Ping asked hurriedly, "Celestial Emperor, are you going to the Sky Cemetery?" "Not bad." Heavenly Hound raised his head and said coldly, "I have never suffered such a loss in my life. Heavenly Grave, this king will definitely flatten the tomb of heaven and take revenge for what happened 3,000 years ago. Remember, before you reach the Heavenly King stage, don't go to the Heavenly Tomb. 1 year later, this king will return. Remember, you have to agree to this king's conditions." Having said that, the Heavenly Hound ignored Fong Ping and looked at Heavenly Wood. Tian Mu trembled in fear, his face filled with anxiety. The Heavenly Hound stared at him coldly. Its teeth bared and gleamed coldly. Sky Emperor, since Do is protecting you, this king will not argue with you." The Heavenly Hound seemed to have noticed something and said coldly, "Sherpa and I need to recover our combat power now. You know what you should do." Tian Mu had a helpless expression on his face, but he didn't dare to say anything. The next moment, as Fong Ping and the others were about to drool, a hole opened up on Heavenly Wood's body. Life essence gushed out like a fountain. Heavenly Hound opened its mouth wide and inhaled deeply. On the other side, the skinny and withered spring keeper also chuckled as he opened his mouth and sucked. 2 streams of clear spring water fell into their mouths, making Fong Ping envious. Saint-level life essence. Many, many more. It was so much that he couldn't even estimate how much Heavenly Wood had been stored over the years. This damned big block of wood actually lied to him earlier, saying that he had used it all. After fighting with King Kuan for 8,000 years, it had used a lot. However, it was hard to estimate how much life spring water a saint-level Heavenly Wood had stored over these 8,000 years. Anyway, at this moment, Fong Ping saw that the man and the dog had sucked away no less than 10,000 caddies. One had to know that life essence, even if it was condensed from a rank 9 monster plant, was worth up to 2.5 billion per caddy. 10,000 caddies, 25 trillion. To Fong Ping, this was actually not much. It was just 2.5 billion wealth points. The key was that there was still peak above rank 9, Emperor level, and then Saint level. How much was Heavenly Wood's life essence worth? 10 times was not too much, right? Even 100 times was possible. That wasn't all. The man and the dog were truly domineering. The Heavenly Hound absorbed a large amount of life essence in one gulp, but it was not satisfied at all. It growled, "Also, take it out." Heavenly Wood was about to cry. How ruthless. It had just escaped and encountered these 2 robbers. What could it do? These were all the treasures it had accumulated over countless years. At this moment, Heavenly would open another gap and continued to pour out large amounts of life essence, absorbed by the man and the dog. Seeing that they were going to finish it, Fong Ping said hurriedly, "Celestial Emperor, this leaves some for the cat." The cat has been thinking about the saint-level life essence for a long time. Recently, it hasn't eaten or drunk anything. It's so hungry that I can't stand it anymore. Fong Ping was about to cry as he spoke. The cat was miserable. How pitiful. It had been thinking about this for a long time. Could you bear to take it all away? The heavenly hound almost choked. Its huge eyes glanced at Fong Ping and snorted coldly. As expected, it's not a good thing. After saying that, after some thought, an energy cluster suddenly condensed in front of him. It was condensed from the fountain of life. The next moment, the energy cluster fell into Fong Ping's hands. It's a waste for the cat to eat. I need to restore my combat strength now. These are just a sumptuous feast. When I return, my combat strength will be restored to its peak. I'll chop off the Sea Guardian's big fish head. It'll be enough for it to eat. Needless to say, the relationship between the heavenly hound and the cat was quite good. It needed to restore its combat strength now, while the cat was just enjoying its mouth. The heavenly hound was merciful and gave some to Fong Ping. On the side, the spring guard's flesh was gradually filling up, and his appearance was restored. Fong Ping glanced at him from the corner of his eye. Very handsome. He seriously suspected that these powerhouses had plastic surgery when they were rank 8. Sunny, handsome, sturdy. Anyway, he was not a pretty boy. He was quite charming. If he were to be thrown on Earth, he would definitely be besieged by little fangirls. The spring guard did not care about him. At this moment, he was smiling brightly, revealing his snow-white teeth. He laughed and said, "I still lack a suitable weapon. I wanted to chop this wood, but now," as he said that, he suddenly looked at Fong Ping and grinned. Fong Ping gritted his teeth and said hurriedly, "Senior, I only have a broken divine weapon. I don't want the Western Emperor's saber. Lend me the saint's token." Fong Ping wanted to cry, but had no tears. "Senior, this saint's token is of great use to me." On the side, the heavenly hound said impatiently, "What saint's token do you want? This kid has walked the Emperor's path of the 4 beasts. He needs it more than you. That piece of trash. Hand over the divine, peeking mirror imitation." Taoist Windcloud's face turned green. Me? He was an emperor level after all. Yet he had become a piece of trash. He still wanted to snatch his treasured mirror. However, he was under someone else's roof. What else could he say? In the next moment, the treasured mirror appeared. The spring guard chuckled, reaching out to grab it. With a snap, Taoist Windcloud seemed to be heavily injured. His face turned pale, blood dripping from the corner of his mouth. The treasured mirror was snatched away. "Give me the quinnia bone." The spring guard looked at Tengu. Tengu's eyes were cold. "You want to rob me? Hong Kuin's sword belongs to you, but don't tell me I didn't get anything. Fuse the quinnia bone into this thing and make something else. At least I can make a top-notch holy weapon out." "Humph!" Tengu snorted coldly. A piece of bone that emitted thunder was thrown out. This was what it snatched from Thunder Emperor previously. The spring guard took it, looked at Fong Ping, and said with a faint smile, "Give me Hong Kuin's spear. It's also an imperial weapon, more or less effective." Fong Ping wanted to cry, but had no tears. One of his weapons was still snatched away. Although he was reluctant to part with it, Fong Ping still took out the long spear he obtained from Ground Strange. The spring guard said lightly, "It's just an imperial weapon. What you took from my origin realm is worth much more than this. I'm leaving now. I'll leave it with you first." As he said that, a mini cabin suddenly appeared in his hand, and he threw it at Fong Ping casually. "Origin realm. Keep it safe for me. I spent thousands of years to find someone to forge this thing successfully. Unfortunately, it's only an object with auxiliary effects. Otherwise, even if it doesn't enter the ranks of divine weapons, it's still a top-notch semi-divine weapon." Fong Ping hurriedly took it. He realized that the cabin was light as a feather, almost weightless. Tengu glanced at it. This time, he did not belittle it. He said casually, "It's a good thing. If there's a chance, let the cat go in and see if it can find anything." Fong Ping nodded hurriedly. This was indeed a good thing. Even if the tens of thousands of Daos inside were almost all fake, it could help powerhouses extend their Dao. Even if it was fake, it would still benefit immensely. Beside him, the spring guard curled his lips. Cat bastard. Back then, I let it go in and take a look. This cat received countless benefits from me, but in the end, it ran away at the last moment. Otherwise, the origin realm should be more complete. He did not pay attention to Tengu. The three weapons in his hands, the treasured mirror and the long spear, were imperial weapons. The Kueok's bone was comparable to a holy weapon. At this moment, under everyone's shocked gaze, he needed them like dough. Under Taoist Feng Yun's distressed expression, the treasured mirror and the other two weapons were instantly kneaded into a large dough. It's a pity that the God-forging envoy is not here. Otherwise, it's possible to forge a semi-divine weapon. The spring guard stretched the dough. Very soon, a snow-white long spear appeared in his hand. Its aura was extremely powerful, flashing with the light of thunder. However, he was not too satisfied. They were all good things. The fusion of the three treasures only created a holy weapon. It was not even the top-notch kind, which made him a little disappointed. The God-forging envoy might be able to forge a semi-divine weapon. At this time, Tengu had also almost finished drinking the Heavenly Wood's life essence. He said casually, "That old thing is most likely not dead. I remember that back then, when the immortal origin was suspended in the air, that old thing ran faster than anyone else. He was the first to run away without a trace. I don't know where he hid." The spring guard chuckled. "Forget it this time. Let's see if we can dig him out next time. My weapon back then was destroyed when I resisted the great calamity. I wonder if I can get a divine weapon over." Don't even think about it. That old thing can be persuaded, but not cowed. I asked him to forge a pair of divine braces for me back then. That old thing actually chased me away. Tengu's eyes revealed a fierce glint. Bullying a dog. That old fellow, the God-forging envoy, actually did not forge a divine braces for it. Otherwise, with its teeth, coupled with the divine braces, it would not be difficult for it to bite off a saint's Dao in one bite. Even if it encountered a heavenly king powerhouse, its combat power was unparalleled. With a divine weapon in its mouth, it could also bite the other party until they wished they were dead. When he said this, Fong Ping and the others did not say a word. Fong Ping actually wanted to ask, "Did you give the materials?" Based on Tengu's character, there was a high chance that it would ask for a divine weapon. Why would it give the raw materials? It would be strange if someone else helped it forge a divine weapon. However, listening to Tengu's words, even if this God-forging envoy was not strong, its status was probably extremely high. Otherwise, how could Tengu let it go so easily? Tengu did not say this anymore. It had obtained the Kuan King's sword, and the spring guard also had a holy weapon. It had also almost sucked Tiamu's fountain of life dry. At this moment, this man and dog had almost robbed them clean. However, in the next moment, Tiamu really wanted to cry. Tengu stared at it, its eyes fierce. "Where's the origin fruit?" Tiamu wanted to cry, but had no tears. He hurriedly said, "Celestial Emperor, this origin fruit is this old man." Smack. The dog's paw slammed Tianmu to the ground. "Stop talking nonsense. I'm not a vegetarian. Otherwise, I'll eat you directly. I asked you to hand over the origin fruit. Why are you still talking nonsense? Without this king's help, could Hong Kun be killed so quickly? This king saved your life, yet you're not grateful." Tiamu really wanted to cry. Robber. He knew that meeting this dog would not be a good thing. As expected, it was not a good thing. A dazzling golden fruit floated out of Tianmu's lifeless eyes. Fong Ping hurriedly said, "The cat has always wanted to eat some fruit." Smack. Fong Ping broke through space, a dog's paw mark on his chest. Tengu harumphed. "Where did this bastard come from? You have everything. The cat wants everything. I'm almost drooling when I see you." The spring guard chuckled and teased. "Tengu, give some to your descendants. Don't be too protective, Boom." Between the man and the dog, the space collapsed. Tengu snorted coldly. If you dare to say another word, I'll bite you to death. Ignoring these people, Tengu bit off more than half of the golden fruit in one bite. Then, after thinking for a while, he took another bite. About 1/10 of the fruit was left, still with the dog's tooth mark. Then, this 1/10 of the fruit floated towards Fong Ping. Bring it back to the cat. If you dare to eat it, I'll bite you to death. Fong Ping hurriedly nodded, cursing in his heart. I won't eat it. There's still the dog's tooth mark. How can I eat the fruit with a dog? However, the relationship between this dog and the cat was really not ordinary. He ate it all by himself and still remembered to leave some for himself. At this point, there was no place for the man and the dog to stay here anymore. Tengu turned around and glanced at them, then looked at the spring guard. The man and the dog did not speak, but in the next moment, they did something that shocked Fong Ping. Swallow, come. One man and one dog. Tengu suddenly opened his mouth wide, looking up at the sky and inhaling wildly. The spring guard also emitted an endless suction force from his body. At this moment, the entire small world, everywhere, all the mineral veins, energy overflowed madly, surging toward them. They wanted to suck this small world dry. Like a tornado, energy surged toward them from all directions, gathering into clouds and rain. Under the complicated gazes of Taoist Fengyun and Dexing Earth, in the despair and sorrow of the entire small world, the energy of the entire small world surged toward them madly. Fong Ping was also extremely shocked. This was a small world comparable to the size of Sino Nation. These two were going to destroy this world. They did not kill anyone. At this moment, they were only absorbing energy. However, if this continued, the small world would collapse and the energy would be destroyed. Would the people here still be able to survive? The spring guard seemed to know what he was thinking. While absorbing energy, he said indifferently, "It's just the Dharma age. It's still a fragment of the celestial realm. It can't be destroyed. People in chaos are like weeds. Being ordinary people and living in a broken Dharma age, maybe this is the only way to save them." Fong Ping did not know what to say for a moment. Actually, was what the spring guard said not wrong? There was no energy here. The powerhouses were all dead. The world was broken. Martial arts were extinct from now on. Even if there were powerhouses who knew that there was a small world here, would they stay here? This place was so similar to Earth in his past life. The Dharma age. Perhaps after a few years, when other places were destroyed, a new civilization would be born here. Killing people? Saving people? Fong Ping did not know. At this moment, Fong Ping only heard countless cries of despair. In everyone's eyes, the world was about to be destroyed. The energy disappeared. The mineral veins collapsed. Some of the trees that contained energy began to wither. Some of the energy stones turned into powder directly. These two were too domineering. Some powerhouses even felt their power being stripped away, screaming in despair. Some powerhouses began to escape, but there was nowhere to run. The end of the world. Pantheon was completely destroyed. Not sure if Tengu and the Spring Guard really needed so much energy to recover, or if it was to take revenge on King Kuan. This time, they had directly destroyed the hope of the entire Pantheon. Endless energy was devoured by a man and a dog. This was also the first time Fong Ping felt how terrifying and destructive a powerhouse was. If a powerhouse like Tengu entered Earth, in less than 3 days, Earth would be destroyed if they let go of the absorption. This was a powerhouse who stood at the top of the 3 realms, without the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors. Even if Tengu had not recovered to its peak, it was still a powerhouse who stood at the top of the 3 realms. Taoist Fengyun and Dexing Earth did not say a word. Heavenly Wood also began to move its body. The surrounding branches began to wither one after another. The trunk, which was previously 1,000 meters in diameter, began to shrink now. When it shrunk to about 100 meters in diameter, the height of Heavenly Wood's trunk could also be seen. This was the first time Fong Ping saw Heavenly Wood's canopy clearly. It was not much different from a normal canopy. currently only 2 to 3,000 meters tall. Previously, he did not see the canopy above 100,000 feet. However, even so, it was terrifyingly tall. It seemed like Heavenlywood could not shrink any further. At this moment, it also looked at Fong Ping, saying in a low voice, "Young friend, this origination technique. Without the origination technique, it could not continue to shrink such a tall trunk." Fong Ping said without a change in expression, "When I go back, I'll ask the cat for it." Just as he said that, Tengu suddenly humphed. Where did the cat get the origination technique from? Origination technique. Do you remember the cat? Go find the cat tree. That tree should know. As soon as this was said, Heavenlywood's expression was unusually good. What did it mean? The cat did not know. The cat might have seen it before, might have heard about it from the God Emperor, but it probably did not know it. On the other hand, the cat tree might know it. The cat tree was also an impasse monster plant, but the cat tree was the same size as a normal person. Its real body had turned into a small crystal tree and was kept in its incarnation. At this moment, it was fleeing frantically. If the cat did not know, then Fong Ping obviously would not know either. This fellow lied to it. Fong Ping's expression still did not change. Then I'll go back and ask the cat tree for it. Heavenlywood really wanted to beat him to death. Don't you have anything to explain? Fong Ping ignored it. Why should I explain? Didn't I say before that I don't know it too? The cat seems to know it. Didn't you hear the seems to? Moreover, since the cat tree knows it, then the cat tree belongs to the cat, and the cat's is mine. It's not wrong for me to say that I know it. What's with Heavenlywood's attitude? After about 7 to 8 minutes, the energy cloud disappeared. Tengu and the Spring Guardian also stopped moving. Both of their bodies were shining with golden light. Obviously, after this absorption, even if they did not recover their full combat strength, at least they had enough energy. Time to go. Tengu looked up at the sky and said. It did not look at Fong Ping, but spoke to Fong Ping. Remember, when you go back, tell the cat not to go to the celestial cemetery for no reason. Also, I will bring it home sooner or later. Fong Ping was stunned for a moment. At this time, Tengu and the Spring Guardian had already broken through the sky. Above the firmament, a crack opened. Fong Ping was stunned for a moment and asked hurriedly, "Is the cat male or female?" In the sky, Tengu's movements seemed to freeze for a moment. Then it disappeared on the spot without looking back. The Spring Guardian chuckled, his laughter spreading throughout the small world. Beside him, Heavenlywood saw that he had gone crazy and hurriedly transmitted his voice. The cat, Tengu, has no gender. Little ancestor, don't ask any more. How bold of him! He was afraid that this fellow would provoke those two again, and then he would not be able to live his life anymore. Fong Ping was surprised. No gender. This was more or less the same as monster plants. At the same time, in the sky above the Forbidden Sea, a crack suddenly broke open. A man and a dog appeared in the sky above the Forbidden Sea. Even if their bodies were not big at this moment, they were reflected in the minds of all the powerhouses within a radius of tens of thousands of miles. 3 realms. I am back. Tengu's voice was cold, reflecting in all directions. In the next moment, he suddenly shouted, I don't care about the struggle of Taoism. Whoever dares to touch the cat will die. As soon as he finished speaking, the man and the dog broke through the void and disappeared between heaven and earth in an instant. In a faraway place, there seemed to be someone trembling. No, they were kneeling. The cat tree did not even dare to shout for help. At this moment, he had transformed into a wretched old man that was lying on the Forbidden Sea, his whole body trembling. This dog is alive. Help! This world is too dangerous. The cat tree wanted to cry. The devil is back. It's over, it's over. In another place, a golden silhouette hurried over here. As he flew, he shouted mournfully, Ancestor, ancestor, don't leave me behind. Ancestor, don't go. Ancestor, you can also add Sky Sly. You only said to take revenge on the cat, but you didn't say to take revenge on me, Sky Sly, too. Ancestor, you can't do this to me. Sky Sly wanted to cry. Ancestor, we look the same. I am here to claim kinship. It's fine if you don't give me anything, but at least be my backer for once. Sky Sly really wanted to cry. It had such a powerful ancestor, but the ancestor did not recognize it. It was too sad. At this moment, a light flashed. Sky Sly did not have time to dodge and was hit in the head. Its eyes were a little dazed, but in the next moment, Sky Sly suddenly became ecstatic. Eating everywhere, Sky Sly murmured. It seemed to have learned a cultivation technique, passed down by the ancestor. Huh? Sky Sly laughed maniacally. I am rich. Ancestor really did not forget about me. From now on, I will maintain this appearance. No horns, no fur, and no spots. From now on, I will use this appearance to travel the 3 realms. Who dares to bully me, Sky Sly? Ancestor, in the future, come home often. Sky Sly roared again. As for where home was, who knew? P.S. On the last day, it would be a waste if I don't vote. Brothers, vote. And at the same time, make me feel miserable. After 3 days, I am exhausted. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.